part of the Block 37 project. That project was eventually scrapped. American Airlines scrambling this morning to fill holiday pilot shortage problems at some of the nation's biggest travel hubs like New York's LaGuardia, Dallas-Fort Worth, and O'Hare. Captain Dennis Tager of the airline's pilots union says a major glitch has allowed pilots to take vacation from December 17th through New Year's Eve.
We're not looking at placing blame. We're looking at repairing the problem and ensuring that the over 15,000 flights that are not manned over the critical last 2 weeks of December do have pilots in the cockpit. American says it's offering Chicago area pilots who come to work, instead of taking time off during the busy holiday period, 150% of hourly pay. Federal judge is ordering Chicago's Roman Catholic Archdiocese to pay $700,000 to a former employee who says she was fired for being a whistleblower. It's a story in the Chicago Daily Law Bulletin reporting the judge this week ordered the church to pay Lynn Sanchez, who was fired from her job in 2014 after complaining that a computer tech support worker was viewing pornography on the church computer. An Illinois House task force on sexual harassment and discrimination is gathering ideas about how to improve the climate at the state capitol. AM 560's David Stewart reports.
The task force took recommendations from a group called Women Employed, whose Melissa Joseph said there should be definitions of harassment, a no retaliation policy for whistleblowers, and a ban on supervisors dating those under their control.
I would highly recommend including an anti-supervisor dating policy. Sexual harassment's about power. It's one thing if you're getting along, you're dating your supervisor, but what if you break up?
Josephs and others told the task force that a strong policy has to be backed up with diligent enforcement. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
No one hurt after a fire broke out overnight on the campus of Eastern Illinois University. The blaze began in Douglas Hall when an electric motor sparked as maintenance employees worked in an attic. The building was evacuated, damage minimal. Well, if you're looking for something to stuff in your stocking, how about this? The official beer of the state of Illinois. It will be unveiled at the bicentennial kickoff at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum in Springfield on December 3rd. The beer is made by Hand of Fate Brewing in Petersburg, Illinois. That's near Springfield. It will be formally announced at the bicentennial kickoff on, again, December 3rd. The Hand of Fate Brewing Company won the honor at the Illinois State Fair this summer. Founder and head brewer Mike Allison actually says the beer is an Illinois farmhouse ale made with a Saison yeast strain from Omega Yeast Labs in Chicago. Drink up. Chicago sports, local college hoops last night. Northern Illinois lost to Wisconsin-Milwaukee, 75-62. Troy topped UIC, Marquette over Chicago State. Missouri Valley action, Southern Illinois a winner over SIU-E. Nevada handled Illinois State. Tonight, Notre Dame squares off with Michigan State in that ACC Big Ten Challenge that has mostly gone the way of the ACC. Illinois and Northwestern begin Big Ten basketball play against each other tomorrow night, actually, at Allstate Arena in Rosemont. Bulls try to win a 6-game losing skid tonight against the Nuggets. Blackhawks begin a home-and-home against the Stars tonight at the UC. The news, a service of Cabela's for families who love the great outdoors every season. The only place to go this season is Cabela's Christmas sale. Save $100 on a Vortex Crossfire scope. Don't miss Saturday, 8 a.m. doorbusters. Shop in-store and online at Cabela's.com. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
You're busy running around shopping for holiday presents. Just make sure you save the best present for yourself. A brand new Ford car, truck, or SUV from Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream. 'Tis the season to celebrate the Ford year-end clearance and stuff your stocking with the best savings of the year. No more waiting. Now is the time to get to Joe Cotton Ford with 250 brand new vehicles that have to be up the lot before the end of the year to make room for the 2018 models. You won't find a better deal or selection. And remember, Joe Cotton is a different kind of car dealer, where family-owned and operated really means something. They're not a big dealer group just cranking out customers to hit a sales quota. You'll get the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure. Maybe that's why generations of Ford buyers and their families keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV for the holidays. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream, or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. America's strength is that she's a free nation. Our weakness is we've stopped defending the foundations of our freedom. Non-behavioral characteristics like race and religion take precedence over shared beliefs as it relates to who is granted entrance to America, to the extent permission is required at all. This in spite of the fact that there is plenty of identity diversity that occurs naturally within a global population that shares a common commitment to peaceful pluralism. The temperature in K-12 is approaching Fahrenheit 451 as school districts move to ban literary masterworks like To Kill a Mockingbird because the language may offend. A recent survey of college undergrads finds 1 in 5 believes violence is acceptable to silence someone who makes a hurtful statement. Private property is seized by the state if you refuse to participate in events that violate your religious beliefs. You make too little, you make too much. You don't pay enough, you didn't build that. You need not apply. You must check your privilege. You must use these pronouns. You can't use those words. As Thomas Paine wrote, what we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. If we continue to acquiesce to those who would cheapen our freedoms, we will all pay dearly.
5:11. Let's get an update on the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Latest on that morning commute with Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. On the inbound Bishop Ford Freeway, overnight road work has cleared, and at least for the moment, the delays have dissipated as well. The work has cleared out of the right lane. On the outbound ride at 87th, the entrance ramp is closed till 6 this morning, and 3 right lanes are closed as well from 87th to the split. Expressways and tollways otherwise are looking good this morning. Passengers on Metro's BNSF, Southwest Service, and Heritage Corridor lines are likely to experience delays of 10 to 20 minutes this morning. This is still due to the derailment which happened Tuesday night at the south side of Union Station. Traffic is a service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. You post a job in minutes, manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, clouds give way to some sun, high 51. A moonlit sky tonight, low 30. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 49. And a partly cloudy night with a low tomorrow night, 36. Clouds and sun Saturday, high 51. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
46 at O'Hare, 46 at the Lakefront, 47 at Midway. Your next news update, 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, who knew Matt Lauer was such a sleaze? NBC is who knew. Yeah. NBC knew. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Those NBC executives that in their statement yesterday read breathlessly and almost tearfully by Savannah Guthrie about how this was the first complaint in 20 years, but there may be more coming forward. Well, golly, how could they divine that there were more coming forward? Oh I know.
Because everybody knew about it.
Because previous complaints were made to NBC executives about Matt Lauer.
Right. And their complaints fell on deaf ears because it was Matt Lauer. So they protected their franchise player and they didn't go to HR. So everybody knew. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. He was allegedly having a lot of consensual relationships with people, but some were non-consensual. And then right after he gets fired, within 2 hours, Variety magazine comes out with this bombshell of a report of what 3 women went through One, he delivered a sex toy to as a present with instructions on what he'd like to see her do with said gift. That's classy.
Yeah, he's also one of these guys. Again, I honestly, I don't even understand this, and this seems to be a characteristic of all of these barbarians. He liked to drop his pants, whip it out, and wave it around
in the office. So I talked to my friend who works at NBC Nightly News. He had an office in the back of the station on the floor that nobody could get to. There was no windows. It was a secluded office. And underneath his desk, he had a lock button for his door so that people couldn't come in or people couldn't leave. And everybody knew that he had that button under his door. But yeah, he waved out his junk one time, dropped his pants, and the employee declined to do anything, and she was shaken. And so he reprimanded her for not engaging in a sex act.
There's also
that's a great come on line.
There's also another allegation that he summoned a staffer to his office for sex. She complied and then, felt pressured and bad about it and complained about it, and nothing was done.
When he'd go on the roads, he had one woman on his staff that he absolutely was smitten with. This, my friend told me, that he would ask her to bring him pillows at night, kind of like the Harvey Weinstein turn down request. He wanted her to bring a pillow, and that was just a ruse for getting her in his hotel room.
Well, so I've never watched the Today Show, so I really don't have any kind of perspective on Matt Lauer and how he behaves. And, I mean, it's people like all these little segments and these nuances about his life that he knows. This is all new to me because I couldn't be less interested in Matt Lauer or most of these celebrity faux journalists or journalists/entertainers. I don't know. What are these people on morning shows?
Well, they were journalists, but now they've turned into entertainers.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were journalists.
No, and back in the day when morning news started, it was news. Now it's all who could get Beyonce and Jay-Z and who's got the baby pics, and it's trash now.
Yeah, but there's been these instances that have now, of course, been unearthed and are being looked at in a new context, where Lauer has made some lewd comments on air, apparently. And also where he's got his former co-host, Katie Couric, this interview that she gave on Bravo TV unearthed.
You co-hosted the Today Show with Matt Lauer for 15 years. What is Matt's most annoying habit?
He pinches me on the ass a lot.
Wow! I wouldn't have a problem with that. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Katie Couric did not plead the fifth.
I think she was trying to be funny. She was working her audience.
I don't think so.
Because those two are like brother and sister.
If she's laughing about it, so maybe it wasn't a big deal to her, and okay. But then, continue on. So there's another moment where they were off camera. They weren't live, but the feed went out over at least one station. Listen to this. Well, he's getting prepped, and Meredith Vieira is getting prepped, and Matt Lauer's watching Meredith Vieira get prepped, and he says this.
Pretty sweater. Keep bending over like that. It's a nice view.
It's hard to hear, but he said, pretty sweater. Keep bending over. I like the view.
To Meredith Vieira.
Yeah.
Who could be his mother. People said he was a sex addict. That's what they told me. They said he couldn't sleep around with celebrities in New York. He had to keep it within the stable.
Would you stop with this sex addict nonsense?
No, he couldn't control himself.
I'm
surprised he had so much time on his hands.
That's not an addiction. That is a behavioral problem. He's not. He has his faculties. The sex addiction stuff is a way to eliminate accountability, not ascribe it. So, do you want him to be held accountable for what he did or not?
Oh, I do, and
okay.
I want him to come forward and tell us what's going on. I mean, he would also play the game F, marry, or kill. And he'd also bring people into his office, men and women, and talk about, hey, do you think she's good in bed? Do you think she's good? How do you think he is in bed? I mean, he was sick. He was perverse. He had a problem. He should not have been anchoring the Today Show.
Well, I mean, every day you're going to get a TV news celebrity, a politician celebrity, and a Hollywood celebrity. I mean, this is going to continue to cycle. I mean, there's a bunch more we'll get to that, a bunch more heads that rolled yesterday. It wasn't just Matt Lauer; he's just the highest profile. But this is a fun thing too. Going back to Matt Lauer when he was playing journalist on TV, Matt Lauer to Bill O'Reilly.
Think about those 5 women and what they did. They came forward and filed complaints against the biggest star at the network they worked at. Think of how intimidating that must have been, how nerve-wracking that must have been. Doesn't that tell you how strongly they felt about the way they were treated by you?
Do you want to know what a narcissist is? Knowing what you have done to other women and still taking the Bill O'Reilly interview, still sitting down with him 6 inches apart and reprimanding him and shaming him and he had his finger in his face.
Doesn't it seem safe to assume that the people at Fox News were given a piece of information or given some evidence that simply made it impossible for you to stay on at Fox News?
That's a false assumption.
But you don't let your number one guy go unless you have information that you think makes him...
That's not true.
I mean, but people at NBC, my inside source told me that they were appalled when he did this interview because the table could have been turned because he has, engaged in bad behavior and has been a pervert and a sicko at NBC.
He lectured.
He should be in jail.
He lectured Bill O'Reilly. He also lectured the nation on Trump. The people that supporting him have already accepted the fact there are going to be things to do with his temperament and maybe the way he treats women that they don't like.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Matt Lauer, the moral conscience of NBC.
And executives did nothing. They knew. We knew in NBC. And then he'd come to visit and people when he came and David Bloom, these guys are skirt chasers now. Be careful, protect yourself. So you telling me now that they're acting oblivious, that they didn't know? They knew the whole time.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, who puts a lock button underneath somebody's desk, too? Don't you think that's an HR issue?
Roger Ailes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And what do Roger Ailes and Matt Lauer have in common?
Comic book villains do that.
Today we're going to have some clouds giving way to some sun. Mild again, a high of 51 degrees. Tonight, a moonlit sky, a low of 30. And for Friday, it's going to be mostly sunny, high in the low 50s. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Do you have a lock button, Jim Talamonte?
No, there's no lock on this door to this little booth. I have a window, too, so everything's transparent. So, good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. See a little bit of delays now on the inbound Ryan coming into downtown Chicago. As usual at this hour, just a little congested. Roosevelt into the Circle. 1 minute delay. Inbound Bishop Ford, got a 2-minute delay. Cottage Grove to the Ryan. Outbound at Sibley. The Bishop Ford just had a crash reported, so keep an eye on that. The other expressways and tollways are fine. On the rails, Metra says passengers on the BNSF, Southwest Service, and Heritage Corridor lines can expect delays of 10 to 20 minutes as crews continue to deal with the effects of Tuesday night's derailment at Union Station. I'm Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Unlocked Traffic Center.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
Tom Kaloran Photography is ready to memorialize your office holiday party with photos that come to life and bring your team together. From large group photos to individual portraits, wallet size to panoramic, your photos can even be printed on location as a take-home keepsake for your party guests. Whether it's a formal dinner or company potluck, Tom Kaloran Photography can create the right feel for your event. They did the photography for AM 560's Freedom Summit 2017, and the finished product was amazing. And here's an idea of just just one more thing to make the holidays stress-free. Hire Tom Kaloran Photography for your family's annual Christmas get-together. You won't have to worry about taking pictures with everyone's phone or the hassle of getting everyone's email addresses to share photos with the family. With Tom Kaloran Photography, you'll have pictures with all the generations together in one place and can send every relative home with their own memory to hold on to forever. Call 708-361-0025 or visit KaloranPhotography.com. KILLORAN photography.com.
There's no feeling like grabbing a seat in a comfy chair to look through memories in a photo album. It's so much more enjoyable than looking at a computer or the small screen of a smartphone. An album of photos will last a lifetime. They can't be erased or become victim of a crashed hard drive. Print your photo memories at oneclickpics.com, your online photo center. Whether they're for an album, a gift, or framed for display, you want the very best quality. You can get that from the photo experts at oneclickpics.com. OneClickPics.com is a professional photo printer. You'll be amazed at the quality of your pictures, canvas prints, invitations, or announcements. You'll see details in your photos you've never seen before.
Right now, buy 24 5x7 cards for only $19.92. Printed on one or both sides on 100-pound premium cardstock, including envelopes.
Trust your digital picture memories to the photo technicians trained in every aspect of digital photo production. OneClickPics.com. OneClickPix.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
I spent we're going to take a phone call first? Yeah, take the phone call.
Yeah, all right.
Hey.
Quickly, Ed in Oak Brook here on Chicago's Morning Answer.
You know what? I really don't know this Matt Lauer. In fact, when I did see him on like Sunday shows, I thought he was into men. But then besides that, what was he making a year? And then I know you guys are going to go into your Feed the Poor program, but if that guy was making such big dollars, just 1 month of his salary could have probably gave enough kids in Haiti enough water for, a lifetime or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
right.
just fascinated about how much that guy was making. And why, and this goes on all these stations, why do they think that some people are so valuable? Like Bill O'Reilly, why did they think he was so valuable? Why did they think Matt Lauer? He looked like nothing to me. So I'm not in the industry, so I have no idea. So I'd love to hear the answer.
Well,
Thanks for the call.
He
Ed.
made $25 million, but with bonuses, it came up to be about $28 million. His contract ends at the end of this year, so he is going to get paid through the end of this year. I don't know what kind of severance package he has, but it's just this is the first time in American
You know what
television
kind of
history.
other package he has, though.
Hey now, that we have a morning anchor spot open at NBC and at CBS, because both of them like to disrobe in front of women.
Yeah. I mean, it's, is Matt Lauer overpaid at $28 million? Certainly based on talent, I would say yes, but, it's what the market will bear. Yeah. Obviously, the Today Show throws off a lot of cash for NBC. What the market will bear is what I would say about that.
And he has been there 20 years, so.
Yeah.
But not anymore.
Oh, gosh, the mighty have fallen. All right, so thanks for the segue there, Ed from Oakbrook. Speaking of food for the poor, yes, we could use Matt Lauer's $28 million. That would be a good way to start making amends. But we also need help of folks making a little bit less than that, who have a little bit less to give, but could make a small donation that goes a long way to our goal of providing food for a year and water for life for 3,000 children in Haiti and Guatemala this Christmas.
And yesterday I spent time going through pictures that I'd taken when I went to Haiti with Food for the Poor last July and looking at some videos. And it's just amazing. They live for the day. I mean, they live when they wake up in the morning, all they care about, where am I going to get a meal? And the meal consists of, they're lucky if it's rice and beans. That's a great day. Where am I going to get clean drinking water? So there is a real need. It's unlike poverty here in the United States. In the United States, you can go to a water fountain, drink some water. You can go to a lake, drink some water, but you cannot do that. Well, not all lakes, but I'm just saying it is just the poverty level is undescribable. And these people have the warmest heart, and they appreciate any help that you can give them. We're asking for a one-time donation of $50. With that, again, food for a year and water for life, because they'll set up a well. I watched them set up one well. It takes just, a few weeks to do it, but they get it done. And the number to call is 844-862-HOPE, 844-862-4673, or go to 560theanswer.com, search for the keyword food. It takes just minutes. They'll plug in your credit card information, and then you will make somebody's holiday season that much brighter.
And our successful entrepreneurs out there can help expedite us to our goal of those 3,000 children that provided food for life and, food for a year and water for life this year. $2,500 tax-deductible gift is part of our business benefactor program. And if you enroll in that with your $2,500 tax-deductible gift, then thanks for your generosity. AM 560 will provide your business 40 one-minute commercials that run Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., our prime broadcasting hours. To enroll in this program, you just call our sales manager, Michael Mann, directly at 847-871-1527. Again, Michael Mann, who is our sales manager here, 847-871-1527, and he'll get you enrolled in the business benefactor program.
Thank you in advance for your generosity. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
NPR bad boy Garrison Keillor finally caught.
And who's hotter, Michael Moore or Garrison Keillor? But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
43 degrees at 5:30. President Trump stumping for the GOP tax bill. In Missouri yesterday, President praising a tax cut bill that cleared the House and pushed hard for passage of a similar bill in the Senate.
A successful vote in the Senate this week will bring us one giant step closer to delivering an incredible victory for the American people.
Senators voted Wednesday 52-48 to open debate on that tax reform measure. Two more women are accusing former Today Show host Matt Lauer of sexual misconduct. NBC's Stephanie Gosk reading a statement from the accuser's attorney to the New York Times. She has not identified herself publicly.
My client and I met with representatives from NBC's Human Resources and legal departments at 6 p.m. on Monday for an interview that lasted several hours. Our impression at this point is that NBC acted quickly, as all companies should, when confronted with credible allegations of sexual misconduct in the workplace.
Minnesota Public Radio saying it's firing Garrison Keillor over allegations of inappropriate behavior. NPR says it was notified of the allegations while Keillor was responsible for production of A Prairie Home Companion. The wife and son of embattled Michigan Congressman John Conyers speaking out against the sexual misconduct allegations leveled against him. And Monica Conyers took direct aim at the media in Detroit.
We have stalkers. I am here most of the time by myself, and you are allowing people to know where me and my family are for our safety.
John Conyers resigned from his chairman position of the House Judiciary Committee, is facing increasing pressure to step down. The House of Representatives is now requiring sexual harassment training for all members, staffers, and interns. The measure passed on a simple voice vote yesterday. OPEC and its allies appear ready to vote today to extend production cuts in order to prop up prices. Oil ministers are trying to get rid of a glut of oil that could trigger another price crash. The Air Force says the commander of the Thunderbirds is being removed for loss of confidence. A statement Wednesday saying Lieutenant Colonel Jason Hurd was dismissed because of a lack of confidence in his ability to lead the touring squad of F-16 fighter jets. Today is the last day of that controversial Cook County soda tax. County commissioners voted last month to repeal that penny per ounce tax. 3 adults and a child hurt following a large blaze on Chicago's northwest side. Fire began this morning inside a 3-story building on West Montrose Avenue. At least a dozen are without a home. One man in critical condition after he was shot by a police officer on Chicago's south side. Authorities say the victim was armed with a gun when the officer fired at him yesterday during a confrontation at 61st and South King Drive. Local college hoops last night. Northern Illinois lost to Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Troy topped UIC. Marquette beat Chicago State. In the Valley, SIU Edwardsville fell to SIU Carbondale, and Nevada beat Illinois State. The news, a service of Chevrolet. It's the Chevy closeout, and the 2017s are going fast. Find special closeout pricing on many of their most popular 2017 Chevy models. Visit your local Chevy dealer and trade up to a new car, truck, or crossover today. Chevrolet, find new roads. 5:33, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher has figured out all the common links in all of the sexual assault cases.
What's the common denominator? It's not politics. The common denominator here are men in power. Men that are in power, that have a capacity to sort of lord over these women. This is not unique to a political party.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Come to Cabela's Great Outdoor Days with special events and giveaways, plus doorbusters for 5 hours only, starting 8 a.m. Saturday, August 12th. Shop in-store and at Cabela's.com.
DS Arms is the factory direct outlet for firearms and accessories where you can find all major brands of firearms in stock. And DS Arms is an actual firearms manufacturer. For 30 years, they've been manufacturing custom rifles used by police, military, and you. Purchase your rifle factory direct and support American manufacturing jobs. DS Arms can also set you up with automatic knives, spare magazines, optics, and every accessory. DS Arms is in Lake Barrington off of Route 14 and Pepper Road. Call 847-277-7260 or visit dsarms.com. DS Arms, much more than a gun store.
Hey there, beer lovers. Let your freedom be heard. If you love freedom, patriotism, and the craft beer revolution, then Gun Craft Beer is the brew for you. You can purchase Gun Craft Beer all over Chicagoland. For a list of locations, visit guncraftbeer.com and be sure to follow Gun Craft Beer on Facebook and Instagram. So salute the red, white, and brew by enjoying the freedom you can taste with Gun Craft Beer.
5:35 and a check of the early morning commute. The latest news in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center comes from Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Metra is telling passengers on the BNSF Southwest Service and Heritage Corridor lines to expect delays of 10 to 20 minutes this morning as Metra continues to deal with the cleanup from the Tuesday night derailment at the south end of Union Station. On the Eisenhower, inbound traffic is slow now from Manheim to 25th Avenue. It's 30 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound fine at 29. The Edens, the Kennedy remain delay-free for now. And Stevenson, a bit tight, Cicero to Pulaski, 36 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound fine at 34. Inbound Ryan, 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 15, despite road work from 87th to Split. I-57 is clear. Bishop Ford, 17 minutes, 80-94 to the ride. Outbound, crash reported in Sibley. Tollways are looking good. Traffic, service of Cabela's. Can't miss outdoor moments. They all begin at the same destination. Start yours at Cabela's Friday Doorbuster Sale, starting at 5 a.m. for 5 hours only. Plus, the first 600 in line receive a free giveaway. Shop in-store and online at Cabela's.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Clouds give way to sunshine with a high of 51. A moonlit sky overnight, low of 30. High of 49 tomorrow. Saturday, 51. Sunday, 51. Monday will be the last day. We'll probably be reaching the 40s or 50s before the snow arrives next week. We'll see. 46 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
When I get that feeling,
yeah.
Healing. Oh, it's Prairie Home Companion.
Dan and Amy, and NPR heartthrob Garrison Keillor has lost his taxpayer-subsidized platform. Very sad to hear that.
Didn't see that one coming, because you know how we played Who's Going to Be Next? Never even thought about Garrison Keillor.
Why would you?
I've seen him perform several times. I lived in northern Minnesota and Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I interviewed him. He was
Nothing else to do up there.
Very nice. Prairie Home Companion. He performed at Hampshire Auditorium. Got to interview him, pregame, well, before he went out for his set. And I didn't see this coming at all.
Can I just say something about Garrison Keillor? You know, what's really annoying? It's not that he's, way left. It's his just kind of transparent, painful efforts to be clever. He's just exhausting, that Prairie Home Companion.
I love it. It's so folksy
quote unquote yeah, exactly. Tries to be clever. Oh, it's
well,
just
you
so
big
cheap.
city dweller wouldn't appreciate.
No,
the Prairie Home Companion.
For his next offering or whatever, wherever he can distribute it, he can make the setting instead of Lake Wobegon, it could be Lake Hegon.
of Hawk Harrelson.
I love
as a character.
Lake Wobegon. Well, apparently Garrison Keillor, he was let go because of something that he did with a coworker from Minnesota Public Radio. And he was really, he wasn't talking too much about it until late last night when the Star Tribune caught up with him, in Minneapolis there. And here's what he claims happened. He said, I meant to pat her back after she told me about her unhappiness and her shirt was open and my hand went up 6 inches. She recoiled. I apologized. I sent her an email of apology later, and she replied that she had forgiven me and not to think about it. We were friends. We continued to be friendly right up until her lawyer called. So this is somebody that he worked with who was going through, some trauma in her life, and he tried to, console her. And somehow his hand just slipped through the back of her shirt.
Well, I put my hand on a woman's bare back, is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
But
then he said her shirt was open and my hand went up at about 6 inches.
Yeah, on her back.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, as much as I don't appreciate Garrison Keillor's work product, this one seems to me like an open question at minimum. I'm a little skeptical of this one. This one seems to me like part of the mania. Part of the an example of the lack of distinction between a serious allegation of sexual impropriety, of predatory behavior, and misconstruing an innocent event to the detriment of the accused, I guess. Garrison Keillor posted on Facebook, "It's astonishing that 50 years of hard work can be trashed in a morning by an accusation. I always believed in hard work, and now it feels sort of meaningless. Only a friend can hurt you this badly. I think I have to leave the country in order to walk around in public and not feel accusing glances."
He went on to say that, if I had $1, are you ready for this? If I had $1 for every woman who asked to take a selfie with me and who slipped an arm around me and let it drift down below the belt line, I'd have at least $100.
Oh, well, sure.
So this is poetic irony of a high order. But I'm just fine. I had a good long run, and I'm grateful for it and for everything else.
Well, I mean, of course, Garrison Keillor.
Selfie king.
Everybody knew that you could bounce a quarter off Garrison Keillor's ass. Everybody knew that.
I mean, that guy's a hot piece of meat. I mean, who wouldn't want to take a selfie and do the little wraparound and then the slide down the belt line? The guy is a victim here. He has been victimized hundreds of times.
All right, so that's a goofy thing to say. It's
he's
absurd.
An old man.
It's absurd. But the idea of if this is the sum total of the allegation against him, should Garrison Keillor have been dispatched?
It's one individual. I mean,
312-642-5600 turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA turnkey.pro text line. This seems to me like a good example of the bad example when it's just believe every allegation and treat every allegation, regardless of its seriousness, the same if it falls under this umbrella of sexual harassment, and make no distinction between an innocent mistake, sexual harassment, sexual assault, violent crime. No distinctions there. Everything is just under one umbrella of predatory, of male toxicity.
Right. I mean,
that's a problem. I mean, of course, it's a problem that was created in part by Garrison Keillor and his leftist friends, but this is a problem.
Well, Minnesota Public Radio said they received the complaint about a month ago, Dan, and they hired a outside law firm to conduct an independent investigation, and they said they found no similar allegations involving any of Keillor's staff members, yet they let him go anyway. So I mean, they spent 2 months following this.
Let's just understand something. You're trying to kind of identify standards, and to me, like all of this, like creepy sexual behavior that is not of a unwanted touching or a violent nature. It's sort of like what Potter Stewart said about pornography. I know it when I see it. You kind of know creepy male behavior when you see it. Somebody that, will you go out with me? No, I don't want to do that. And then that persists, or people that are, just the two kind of in your space, or people making weird or lascivious comments. You're talking about 50 years, and one woman says,
I went to pat her back, and my hand was up 6 inches where her back was bare, and then I get a call from a lawyer, and then I'm out.
And he was friends with her too. It's so strange. But he even wrote an op-ed the other day in the Washington Post defending Al Franken. Saying 11 years later, a talk show host in L.A. goes public and there's talk of resignation. It's pure absurdity. But he did also say once that a world in which there's no sexual harassment at all is a world in which there will be no flirtation.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, this gets into the Jerry Rivers territory, which we'll get to, but don't you think on this case, Garrison Keillor, this is an example of the mania that Garrison Keillor wrote about in that Al Franken piece. I wouldn't necessarily take his position on Al Franken, but in terms of the nation being in the grip of a mania and not distinguishing between things that are distinct, there's a point there.
I feel sorry for all you men out there. Honestly, I do.
Finally.
I mean,
finally, the empathy I've been looking for.
It has taken me 40 some odd years to empathize with you, but it's true. I mean, when my sons came home and said, these are our gender choices, feminist or racist or rapist, feminist or rapist. And now I'm starting to understand what you're going through, because anybody could level any accusation against you, Dan, against Mike Scott, against Justin, against, Keith or Quinn, and you might be yanked right away and then, or suspended until an investigation's concluded.
Don't give people any ideas.
It's no world to live in.
Greg in Schaumburg.
And Amy, just real quickly, that's the reason why people aren't dating right now and why marriages are being put off and why, in my view, Satan is being able to bring down our society. Hey, Dan, let me get this out first, the two main points. They're quick, because you're going to go off on me on more again. But you've been talking about the distinctions all morning.
People tell me what I'm going to do.
I'm puzzled how you are talking about distinctions, and it seems like you make a distinction one way and you don't. But my larger 2 points are these. In an age of digitization, when everything is recorded from birth on, how does somebody apologize in this world anymore, and who is the forgiver? That's all I got.
How do you apologize? I don't know what you're talking about with Roy Moore. Thanks for the call, Greg. I don't know. And
it took a turn.
It's just weird. But don't tell me how I'm going to react to something.
You know what you say? Don't tell me how I feel.
Don't. You can't feel my feelings. Let me feel my feelings.
Who for Garrison Keillor? I want Garrison Keillor to have a comeback.
So who forgives in the digital age? Well, yeah,
well, nothing was recorded. I mean, we don't have.
Not in the Keillor case.
No, or in Matt Lauer's case.
Well, there's a whole treasure trove of video of Matt Lauer. Of the accused.
But of bad behavior, just juvenile, stupid locker room talk.
Yeah, well.
They like to do that over there at NBC.
By the way, speaking of Garrison Keillor and NPR, another NPR.
Big Bird?
No, Big Bird is safe for now.
PBS. I know.
Snuffleupagus better watch out where he puts that trunk, though. I'll tell you that. NPR chief news editor David Sweeney has departed the company following allegations of sexual harassment filed against him by at least 3 journalists. I love these leftist institutions. And in politics, it's a bit mixed. But, I mean, by and large, isn't it interesting what percentage of men who accused, deposed, exiled are men of the left? And now, of course, in media, it's all left. In Hollywood, it's all left.
Right, but it started with Roger Ailes, Bill O'Reilly.
It started with, but I mean, in terms of what's the percentage? If the percentages were reversed, what would we be saying? I mean, we'd be saying like the Republican Party needs to be designated as a domestic terror group and everybody imprisoned. So it's just interesting, just the percentages. I'm not saying that there should be a partisan standard. I'm just noting it because I know if the percentages were reversed, it'd be noted. Producer for Jake Tapper, fired. Harassment complaint, CNN. The Warner Brothers TV group producer of such shows like Arrow and Supergirl, The Flash, he's suspended amid harassment allegations. Celebrity chef Johnny Zuni.
Oh, no, not him.
Yeah.
I don't even know who he is.
Me neither, but he's a celebrity chef. I mean, my point is to say the volume of these.
Oh, I know.
Every day there's 5 of these from kind of D and C list or back office people at news organizations to the Matt Lauers and the Garrison Keillors.
Well, I found out that they got to Matt Lauer because his booker was Matt Zimmerman, who was a real bad boy, and he would bring
He's
women
gone.
to Matt Lauer. Right, but they investigated him, and that's what led them to get Matt, even though everybody knew about it anyway. I met him. He's narcissistic. I mean, he thinks he's, hey, who doesn't want to be with me?
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
What did John Wooden say? Talent is God-given. Be humble. Fame is man-given. Be grateful. Conceit is self-given. Be careful.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
With the holidays approaching, now's the perfect time to purchase 2 gifts and only pay for 1. Or give a gift and keep one for yourself. Yes, folks, the MyPillow buy one, get one free offer is back. I urge you to go online or call now and take advantage. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available. I personally love my MyPillows. I get a great night's sleep by moving the fill to give me the support I need, regardless of my sleep position. And I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. They're made in America. You can wash and dry them. They're hypoallergenic, plus have a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. And it's great to know you're supporting a company that helped thousands of hurricane victims. So get your buy one, get one free MyPillows as gifts or for yourself by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
You're busy running around shopping for holiday presents. Just make sure you save the best present for yourself. A brand new Ford car, truck, or SUV from Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream. 'Tis the season to celebrate the Ford year-end clearance and stuff your stocking with the best savings of the year. No more waiting. Now is the time to get to Joe Cotton Ford with 250 brand new vehicles that have to be off the lot before the end of the year to make room for the 2018 models. You won't find a better deal or selection. And remember, Joe Cotton is a different kind of car dealer where family-owned and operated really means something. They're not a big dealer group just cranking out customers to hit a sales quota. You'll get the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure. Maybe that's why generations of Ford buyers and their families keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV for the holidays. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call. A borrower called me after contacting the lender who boasts about having the lowest rates and closing costs because he thought my competitor's closing costs were excessively high. I compared loan estimates and the interest rates were identical, but our definitions of low closing costs were a lot different. Fact is, my closing costs were over $1,000 less than the lender claiming to have the lowest closing costs. When purchasing a home, you can either work with the lender who talks and talks and talks and talks about low closing costs, or you can work with me, a lender who actually has low closing costs. Then think of all the things you could do with an extra $1,000 when we originate your loan, like pay for the movers, buy a new computer, new TV, maybe new carpet for your new house. I've helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, 4358, and MLS 19186.
AM 560, The Answer.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell.
Time of the year. Wait.
Wait, quickly,
wait.
just a good
It's just
tweet. Good tweet from the for the show here. Hold on. From 630, Garrison Keillor and Al Franken need to read St. Paul rather than visit it. Ooh, nicely
wow,
done.
I just got the chills. That's some good stuff. Once again, AM 560 is paired up with Food for the Poor. They're an international relief and development organization, and they are on the ground helping those in the Caribbean who've been devastated by hurricanes. They're also in Guatemala and, of course, in places like Haiti. Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. 1 in 1,000 kids will be dead before the age of 5 because of lack of food, lack of vaccinations. And Food for the Poor really does what the government in Haiti should be doing for their people. But they have a 75% unemployment rate in Haiti. They've never really recovered from the hurricane because there's still piles of debris everywhere.
They've never really recovered from the Duvalier family.
No, they haven't. A lot of corruption there, and the people have had to pay for it. And if Food for the Poor wasn't there, thousands of people would be dead. I can tell you that firsthand. They have provide food and water every day outside their main facility in Haiti. People line up. They 800 people at least every day line up for free food and water. They provide vaccinations for children, and they're really just a wonderfully run organization. 95% of every dollar goes directly to those in need. So one-time donation of $50, food for a year, clean water for life. 844-862-4673. That's 844-862-HOPE, or go to 560theanswer.com. Search for the keyword food.
And then we have our business benefactor program.
Yeah, who signed up already? We got to call Michael Mann.
I don't know. We got to get the list. But we're always appreciative. We've got a lot of successful people who listen to the show and who are very generous. Part of the secret to their success. The business benefactor program works like this. You make a $2,500 tax-deductible gift to Food for the Poor. And in gratitude for your generosity, we'll provide here at AM 560 40 60-second commercials that will run Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., our prime broadcasting hours. So to enroll in that program, you just call our sales manager, Michael Mann, directly at 847-871-1527. Again, Michael Mann, 847-871-1527 to enroll in the business benefactor program.
And it's really a great way to introduce your company to our audience members. $2,500 for 41-minute commercials. That is unlike anything you'll see in Chicago broadcasting radio. So become a part of this program. Help those in need. Michael Mann, call him again at 847-871-1527.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
It's time for Schrank's Smoking Gun November AR sale. Save with 10% off all in-stock new and used AR-type rifles, AR receivers, accessories, and ammo. That includes LWRC, Smith & Wesson, Civilian Force Arms, Colt, and more. Schrank's will sweeten the deal with 2 free 20-round Magpul mags when you purchase any 5.56 rifle through Black Friday. Whether you buy out of the box or build your own, Schrank's can set you up. Not sure? Well, Schrank's expert staff helps you find the best options. With the largest selection of new use and consignment firearms in Lake County, you'll avoid the Cook County firearm and ammo tax with just a short drive north. For gunsmithing, you can count on family-owned Schrank's for over half a century. And, of course, cigar lovers, stock up from Schrank's humidors. Don't miss Schrank's November AR sale. Visit SmokeTheLetterNGun.org for Black Friday deals or call 847-662-4034. Schrank's Smoking Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964.
5:57. Let's get an update on that early morning ride around town in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Critical information with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Metra is telling passengers on the BNSF, Southwest, and Heritage lines to expect delays of 10 to 20 minutes this morning after the cleanup for the derailment Tuesday at Union Station, and we are already seeing that. An 11-minute delay right now on the Southwest line. Keep an eye on that this morning. So far, nothing worse than that. The Edens is just fine. Inbound Kennedy, slow out of the River Road toll to Central, 25 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound still fine at 20. The Eisenhower's 37 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Stevenson, 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 21 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, after a crash at 154th, it's heavy, starting around 159. 27 minutes, 8094 to the Rhine. Outbound 16. Tollways are still good. Traffic, serviceofindeed.com. You hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses. Use Indeed.com for hiring. You can post a job in minutes and manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 website. It's Indeed.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Dan and Amy. But first, your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Increasing amounts of sunshine today, high 51, then a moonlit night tonight with a low of 30. Mostly sunny day for tomorrow, high 49 and a low 36. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
43 at O'Hare, 45 along the lakefront. The news service of Liberty Mutual Insurance. From weather to traffic and news and everything in between, you've had enough things to worry about every day. Insurance should not be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. 5:59. Here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer this morning. Today is the last day of that controversial Cook County soda tax.
3 adults and a child hurt following a large blaze that left a dozen homeless on Chicago's northwest side. Authorities investigating a major smash and grab jewelry heist at a northwest suburban store, Jared, near the Woodfield Mall. One man is in critical condition, shot by a Chicago police officer on the south side near 61st and South King Drive. Attorney General Lisa Madigan says she'll investigate whether Massage Envy properly handled sexual assault allegations by customers at several Chicago area locations. Bulls try to end a 6-game losing skid tonight against the Nuggets in Denver. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
Tax reform moves to the Senate floor. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. It's not clear there are enough votes to get it done, but tweaks are being made to get more Republicans on board. The latest live from the Capitol, Fox's Jared Halpern.
And one proposal being floated is a revenue trigger. Fiscal hawks want some assurance the deficit won't explode if economic projections fall flat. South Dakota Republican Mike Round says it is being discussed.
Can you build in a very simple thing that says at the end of 5 years or 6 years, barring a recession, can you simply bump up one rate by 1% or by 2% as a response?
Conservative groups are opposed, including House members who doubt a potential automatic tax increase can pass. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce calls the trigger impractical, unreasonable, and unnecessary. Chris.
Jared, thanks. There's more stuff out there about Matt Lauer, fired by NBC for sexually inappropriate workplace behavior. Here's Fox's Tanya J. Powers in New York.
Chris, a report by the New York Times says an incident with a married female staffer in 2001 included Lauer locking the door to his office and sexually assaulting the woman until she passed out. A piece in Variety includes interviews with current and former staffers, one of whom said Lauer gave her a sex toy as a present, along with a note about how he wanted to use it. It also says Lauer would ask female producers who they'd slept with and identified the female co-host he'd most liked to sleep with. And the women interviewed asked to remain unnamed, fearing professional repercussions, Chris.
Tanya J. Powers, thanks. The guy who deactivated President Trump's Twitter account during his last day as a Twitter contractor earlier this month says it was a mistake.
I had a wild time in America. I was tired sometimes, and everyone can do mistakes.
Batyar Dusak lives in Germany. He tells the website TechCrunch somebody reported the president's account as violating Twitter's terms of service, so he started the deactivation process, not thinking it would actually kick in. That account was down for about 11 minutes. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
When it comes to the holidays, the hustle and bustle doesn't stop. Well, unless your car breaks down. Whatever this season brings, it helps to have Hum by Verizon. Hum is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers. Now you can check your car's health from your phone. Get help if you're stuck on the side of the road. And if Hum detects a crash, it can automatically notify emergency services. It's a smart way to stay informed about your car and keep your family safer on the road. This holiday season, get Hum and get where you're going. Visit hum.com or your local Verizon store for special holiday savings.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing more than just a rate. Does calling the company with 11 J.D. Power Awards for client service matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative technology, matter? If working with America's #1 online lender matters to you, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Founding father and Bill of Rights signer George Mason stated, "To disarm the people is the best and most effectual way to enslave them." All Second Amendment supporters would strongly agree.
It's important we support companies that share our conservative values. If you are a manufacturer, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. As a software and systems integration company, Automated Systems creates custom solutions to make your production lines, facilities and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. It doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 or a startup, Automated Systems delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you, man, to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit AutomatedSYS.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI.
Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and I'm excited to tell our listeners that own or manage companies about a company you likely haven't heard of. I know that sounds strange, but with over 30 years in business, they've never had to advertise. They're that good. Anion Blinds is a local company that shares our values and have been selling and installing blinds, rolling shades, shutters, and motorized window treatments to area businesses for over 3 decades. And every review is positive. You'll be amazed how cost-effective it is working with experts who can recommend the right products, install them, and guarantee all their work. From property managers and Fortune 500 companies in need of replacement window treatments to startups in the decoration phase, Anion Blinds does everything right. Call competitively priced Anion Blinds today for your window treatment consultation at 630-662-1621 or visit AnionBlinds.com. That's ANION Blinds.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Power Trading Radio, Sunday afternoons at 2. Brought to you each week by Online Trading Academy.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So who's next? Which news celebrity, politician celebrity, or Hollywood celebrity will next be slayed by sexual misconduct allegations? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Could it be Geraldo Rivera?
I'm surprised he hasn't been called out yet. Yeah, a little surprised. I was really surprised, but he tweeted pretty much his support for Matt Lauer yesterday, saying that he's a great guy and that the news business is a flirty business. Well, I did that for 18 years. I was in that business. It wasn't flirty. I mean, maybe I wasn't in the newsroom too much to witness things because I was out on the street. But
well, let's be honest. I mean, the people doing news on TV are doing it because they're good looking. I mean, can we just be honest about that? Of course. I mean, what's the appeal? I mean, maybe with the exception of Ron Majors. But
he was hot.
But otherwise, yeah. But
I couldn't control myself when I was around him. I mean, really.
The age of the venerable journalist, the John Drury, kind of the distinguished journalist, that's gone.
Mad Dog Drummond.
Yeah.
Russ Ewing.
I mean but
those were honest men that were not whores.
Well, right. I'm sure that's true. But the point is that this has a lot to do with sex appeal, being in that business. So, and this is not necessarily a defense of Geraldo, but he went on to say, it seems like the current epidemic of sexual harassment allegations may be criminalizing courtship and conflating it with predation. And of course, that drew a firestorm of rebuke, and that led to Geraldo Rivera to apologize, saying, I didn't sufficiently explain myself, that this is a horrendous problem long hidden. Harassers are deviants who deserve what's coming to them. Often victims are too frightened to come forward in a timely manner, checking all the boxes.
Yeah, and then I humbly apologize.
Right. But I mean, but does he have a point about a certain mania and an unwillingness to make distinctions about the quality of allegations, that it's going to have a chilling effect on male-female relations, criminalizing courtship? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Speaking of criminal courtship, why is Geraldo potentially the next to go? I mean, everything's fair game. How about a 26-year-old interview
with
Barbara Walters?
Yes.
And Bette Midler. Remember this? Remember Geraldo Rivera's tell-all where he was bragging about the women he allegedly slept with in Hollywood, right? Yeah. Well, Bette Midler was one of them, and she was asked about it in 1991 by Barbara Walters, and she recounted this story of her interaction with Geraldo Rivera.
Bette, speaking of taste, what do you think of Geraldo Rivera's autobiography in which he said that you and he had a torrid sexual affair
insatiable.
and you were insatiable?
Oh, God.
Is that an insult or a compliment?
Oh, I thought it was fabulous. I thought, oh, I needed that at this point in my life. Just when everyone perceives me as like this, you know, this sort of little old lady type, you know, conservative, somewhat straight-laced. I am a little straight-laced. He comes along and tells the world how great, you know, what a sexy chick I am. So, in a way, it was kind of, I had to laugh. My husband and I, we both had a big laugh over it.
And that's all?
I said, well, his penis went to his head. But the truth about it is that I didn't remember. I mean, one thing I did remember, and that was how I met Geraldo, and that was not funny. Shall I tell you?
Why not?
Well,
please.
No, I better not. I'm going to get in trouble. It was very unpleasant.
A little trouble.
Okay, get in a little trouble. Well, Geraldo and his producer came to do an interview with me in the 70s, the early 70s. And this was when he was very sort of hot. And he and his producer left the crew in the other room. They pushed me into my bathroom. They broke 2 poppers and pushed them under my nose and proceeded to grope me. And I didn't have any grope me. I did not offer myself up on the altar of Geraldo Rivera. He was unseemly. His behavior was unseemly.
And you don't remember?
And my friend says, "Oh, what a charmer! Of course you slept with him after that."
Well, let's go on to other things, shall we?
I'll tell you the truth. If I had known he was going to be so, he was going to, 20 years later, he was going to wind up a slimy talk show host, I never would have even let him in the room, you know. I mean, you have no way of knowing at the time that these things are going to come back to haunt you.
Wow.
How about that?
So he and his
that's 26 years ago.
They busted themselves. I don't understand what the popper is.
It's a drug to disable her. That's what she's
Oh,
alleging.
my God. That is...
It's Cosby-esque.
Yeah.
They drugged her and then they groped her.
And they held her against her will. I mean, that is a crime.
That's what she's alleging, yeah.
That is a crime. And she's laughing about it as if, you know, it's like, well, it's kind of uncomfortable, but all right, I guess I'll talk about it.
Well,
I mean, she was victimized.
Well, right, but the change, the culture change and how quickly it's happened. So, you know, it's a 26-year-old allegation in that interview. Should Geraldo Rivera be fired from Fox News?
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment.
I mean, in many of these cases, including the case of Roy Moore, you're talking about allegations that are 30 and 40 years old. So how is that different than the allegation by Bette Midler against Geraldo Rivera?
I'm still processing that.
How
I feel like
about it?
Savannah Guthrie. I'm processing things today.
How about it? I mean,
Well, yeah, he should go. And then, but here's the problem for him and to tweet about Matt Lauer. I would have just sat that one out. You know, especially if you've had some bad behavior in your past. Sometimes you just want to leave it alone. I don't think President Trump should have tweeted about Matt Lauer yesterday. Should have sat that one out as well, because they both have some allegations against him.
Well, I understand, but going back to the point you made previously, anybody can make an allegation. The question is the allegation credible, and is the response by the accused credible? You know, where do you and because so many of these instances are he said, she said, or he said matters. It really is sort of sizing up the credibility of the story and the response, isn't it?
Do you believe the accusers against Matt Lauer? I mean, he gave one a sex toy with a letter on how to use it. He stripped down, took his pants off in front of another employee in his office and said, perform a sex act on me. And then the Sochi Olympics with a bring a pillow to my room. And
do I believe the allegations against Matt Lauer? Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know about the sexual assault. You know, the kind of like, did he behave in a grotesque manner towards women? Do I believe that? I believe that. Yeah. When you get into accusations of criminal conduct, like a sexual assault that the one staffer alleged happened in Sochi when they were covering the Olympics in 2014, that's a different matter. I need to hear more to try and make any kind of judgment call on that.
What did she think?
That's more serious.
Bringing a pillow to his hotel room late at night. I mean,
Well,
it's hard.
Yeah, I mean.
But my source
I
at
don't
NBC
know.
said he
I
kept
don't
it
know.
within NBC because he thought that was a safe place. He couldn't go out and be, sexually deviant out in public because he's Matt Lauer.
Rick on the West Side, you're in Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning, Danny. Yeah, I just want to straighten you out on that popper. It's actually what it is ammonium nitrate, and the paramedics usually use it to revive somebody.
So it's
people just use it for a real fast high. I mean, it's not a
Yeah.
drug like
so it doesn't
marijuana or
render you
cocaine, right?
unconscious.
Well, but it's sort of okay. Thanks for the call,
it's a
Rick.
quick high. All right.
It's a high, but it's sort of like you lose your
Faculties a little bit.
and inhibition, right?
It's the Geraldo foreplay kit.
I'm glad we think. Yeah. Well,
Yours for only $19.99 if you call this 800 number.
David and McCook.
Hey, good morning, guys. Love you guys.
We love you
What's
too.
up?
What's basically going on right
Platonic
now?
way.
Any man in a prominent position, whether you're a politician, pro athlete, radio talk show host, Dan.
I'm not
can
prominent.
get accused of anything right now, and they lose their damn job. It's wrong.
Yeah, thanks for the call,
Yeah,
David.
that's what I am worried about. That one little allegation could destroy you
Well, here's the thing.
in this current atmosphere.
Well, that's the mania part of this, and it's funny. I was having a conversation with a lawyer friend of mine yesterday.
Why
We're
were
talking
you at
about
your
this.
lawyer's?
No, we were having a beer.
Oh.
And
I hope the official beer of Illinois, Farmhouse Ale. But
no, Three Floyds, which I think is over in
Oh.
Indiana, right?
Yeah.
That's good. I like Three Floyds. Gumball Head. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
you want to do.
Oh,
yeah, that's
look
a
at
good
you.
So here's the thing. So the conversation was like just exactly what David McCook said. Any allegation could tube you, and I'm waiting for this to really move over outside of celebrity to powerful people in corporate America. The guy who's the head of a bank or a big brokerage house or a big,
Hedge
a
fund.
Fortune 100 company. When do those shoes start to drop? Because in some of those circles, if not all of them, there are bad. Well, there are bad actors everywhere. So
The mortgage business.
but right across. So when are the? It's interesting because the allegations against people that have celebrity get traction quicker, probably more likely to induce a quick settlement to try and tie it up because you've got the additional public pressure that maybe you don't for people that have power and wealth in the private sector, but don't have the same level of public scrutiny. So it's one of these things like if you're doing well and you have some power, you're kind of middle or upper middle in a law firm or a bank or a hedge fund or wherever. Is it going to metastasize over there where people are going to use allegations as a cudgel for social climbing or for retribution? And I'm not, and again, of course, there may be legitimate instances, but it's the question of remedying real wrongs versus and the need to assess the difference of people weaponizing an allegation,
Right.
And then the response, because you have people that are so hypersensitive to media scrutiny, to the shaming, to the mobocracy, that immediately, like Garrison Keillor, which I think is a really curious
that's
case,
so sad.
immediately you're out the door based on one interpretation
From a friend.
of what seems to me a rather innocent interaction. There is the danger of going off the cliff on this. Don in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. What's telling to me is the Bette Midler, Geraldo Rivera thing is Geraldo's non-response. Wouldn't you? I mean, if someone said that about you and it was not true, wouldn't you just go, insane? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'd sit this one out.
Yeah, you're right. I don't.
He didn't.
Yeah, there's never been a response to that from Geraldo, right, Don?
Even 20 years ago, there was no response from him.
Yeah.
Now, another question I would have too, though, is is there any sort of statute of limitations, and is severity ever taken into account? I mean, am I still responsible for the things I did as a junior in high school?
What?
Like, when I snapped a girl's bra strap or picked a girl at the drinking fountain?
Yeah, thanks for the call, Don, and for those disclosures. That's the
that
first
must
step.
have been, really hard to come forward with that information.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right, John on the east side. East side.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Where's the east side?
The lake.
Hey,
John in the lake. John in Lake Michigan.
well, no, the east side, southeast side.
Oh,
Hey,
southeast.
Like the A's, O's,
people,
and M's.
who cares about these people? I wouldn't let my kid around Geraldo. All these rich people with their Hollywood. I work all over downtown. I don't trust these people. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't listen to you half the time. Would have your nonsense.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
You guys. It's
Thanks for
like,
the other
hell
half.
With all the media, let's just get online and to hell with all you media people.
All right. Thanks for the call, John.
We have some breaking news. Matt Lauer has just spoken. We don't know where. We don't know what he said, but he's speaking right now. He said he's truly sorry. And that's it.
Okay.
But we'll let you know. We'll bring it to you. So stay tuned.
Sounds like an admission. Mike on the north side, who also puts up with half of my nonsense.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I wanted to ask what the limits on this sexual harassment are. Are they just physical, or can they be mental too? Now, if you just covet someone, is it a transgression? Because I got a meeting today, and there's going to be women, and I want to know how to act. Now, if there's 4 women in a room,
read your commandments about coveting another man's wife, Mike.
Yeah. Well, if there's 4 women in the room and 3 look like Amy Jacobson and 1 looks like Rosie O'Donnell, did I commit a transgression against just the 3 women, or did I commit a transgression against the Uggo by not coveting her? Now, if I hand out cards in advance of this,
it's a word problem. Okay.
Yeah. Does it get me out of the problem? If I say sorry if I think about you, sorry if I think about you, forget it, I'm not going to think about you, does that let me off the hook? Or do I have to make a payment like, here's $1 for you, here's $1 for you, honey, you get 5, you get a quarter, and it's a Canadian quarter, so it's not worth much.
Yeah, Mike.
Now, Dan, think about this.
Yeah.
If you're in a room with 3 women and maybe a gay guy, if you don't covet him, did you commit a transgression against him because you didn't deem him worthy?
Yeah, thank you for raising the issue of thought crimes, Mike. And in response to your question, I think everybody that you interact with, you should pay a little bit of money for their time. Lewis in Dayton, Texas.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I just want to make a quick statement about with the Mark Walsh interview. I'm not saying what these gentlemen have done is right, but I think during the time that a lot of this stuff was going on, and some of it was back then, if you listen to that interview when she was telling the story, it really didn't phase her. And Amy, you made the comment of, look at her just nonchalantly, kind of going along with it. It's not right, but back then it just seemed to be more socially acceptable. So a lot of people now are looking at stories from back then, and they're criticizing them. And they got to remember that it was during a time when behavior was a little bit more acceptable.
Well, yeah, but not. Thanks for the call, Lewis. But not that behavior, not the behavior that Bette Midler alleges.
No, real quick, breaking news: Matt Lauer did respond to Variety magazine. The statement was released to read on the Today Show.
Were his pants on when he responded?
His pants were on, but you know what? It's surprising. He doesn't take responsibility for everything. He said some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there's enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. I regret that my shame is now shared by the people I cherish dearly.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, the drama that is morning news. Today, melodrama. Yeah, clouds giving way to some sun, unseasonably warm. Yet again, a high of 51. Tomorrow, sunshine, a high of 50. Saturday and Sunday, all, unseasonably warm for this time of year. But enjoy it because next week, oh yeah, middle of next week, we could have the S word, and I'm talking snow. But first, now, let's go into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim
when Al
Talamonte.
Roker talks about the S word, he's talking about something else.
Hi, Jim.
Good morning, Amy and Dan. Skokie, eastbound Oakton, it's closed right now from the Edens east to Grosse Pointe Road. Got a rollover crash in the trees there. And Niles got a collision. Dempster at Cumberland. Edens, 23 minutes like Cook to Montrose, outbound 20. Kennedy, 31 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 24. The Eisenhower's 44 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 32. Stevenson, 49 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 29 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57 is good. Bishop Ford, 24 minutes, 8094 Ryan. The Skyway, which runs through the east side, is delay-free. Tollways, heavy on the eastbound Adams Tollway for the Tri-State to the Kennedy. Eastbound 8094, slow from Kennedy to Klein. Westbound I-65 to Chase, crash in the right lane. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
You're busy running around shopping for holiday presents. Just make sure you save the best present for yourself. A brand new Ford car, truck, or SUV from Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream. 'Tis the season to celebrate the Ford year-end clearance and stuff your stocking with the best savings of the year. No more waiting. Now is the time to get to Joe Cotton Ford with 250 brand new vehicles that have to be off the lot before the end of the year to make room for the 2018 models. You won't find a better deal or selection. And remember, Joe Cotton is a different kind of car dealer where family owned and operated really means something. They're not a big dealer group just cranking out customers to hit a sales quota. You'll get the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure. Maybe that's why generations of Ford buyers and their families keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV for the holidays. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. America's strength is that she's a free nation. Our weakness is we've stopped defending the foundations of our freedom. Non-behavioral characteristics like race and religion take precedence over shared beliefs as it relates to who is granted entrance to America, to the extent permission is required at all. This in spite of the fact that there is plenty of identity diversity that occurs naturally within a global population that shares a common commitment to peaceful pluralism. The temperature in K-12 is approaching Fahrenheit 451 as school districts move to ban literary masterworks like To Kill a Mockingbird because the language may offend. A recent survey of college undergrads finds 1 in 5 believes violence is acceptable to silence someone who makes a hurtful statement. Private property is seized by the state if you refuse to participate in events that violate your religious beliefs. You make too little, you make too much. You don't pay enough, you didn't build that. You need not apply. You must check your privilege. You must use these pronouns. You can't use those words. As Thomas Paine wrote, what we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. If we continue to acquiesce to those who would cheapen our freedoms, we will all pay dearly.
It's that wonderful time of the year where you get to reconnect with family and friends, to celebrate, catch up, and just have fun. At Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill, they call that FaceTime. And whether FaceTime happens around your table or theirs, Augie's has been helping families and friends celebrate this busy and exciting season with great food at a great price for almost 40 years. Dine on their signature subs as big as your forearm, homemade Italian beef, hand-rolled meatballs, fresh, never frozen grilled burgers, and mouth-watering pizza. Surrounded by museum-quality memorabilia, Augie's offers a truly unique dining experience with fast, fresh, affordable food. Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill is ready to make your holidays with family and friends simple and easy with fast, fresh, affordable food. Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill in Carroll Stream or West Chicago. Get your parties started now. Check out the extensive holiday catering menu at augustinos.com. From family gatherings to office parties, make FaceTime happen with Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, the statement from Matt Lauer. We'll be bringing it to you, but it's, you know, he's repairing the damage, and he's going to take a lot of time in soul searching, and now it's now going to be his full-time job.
Yeah, this will be the first Christmas where he doesn't put mistletoe on his member.
Oh!
Prance around the house. That's the beginning of the healing.
I got a little gift for you, and there's some instructions with it. Here you go, honey. Use this, and think of me. What a pervert.
Is that sexual harassment?
Yeah, it might be.
Am I done? Did I just lose my job? All right, Food for the Poor. I'll go out on a high note. Food for the Poor campaign 2017 has kicked off. Our goal is to provide food for a year, water for life for 3,000 children in Haiti and Guatemala. How do we do that, Amy?
Well, we're asking for a one-time donation of $50. $50. What do you get with $50? Well, rest assured that 95% of every dollar spent goes directly to those in need. Food for the Poor helps in so many ways. They've built hundreds of homes. They feed 1,500 people a day. They give them clean water. They give them a chance to live. And those women who have children, they provide life-saving vaccinations for them. So here's what you do. One-time donation, $50. Call this number, 844-862-HOPE, 844-862-4673. Or you could visit 560theanswer.com, search for the keyword food, $50. Make a donation in behalf of your well-fed grandchildren or children and make a difference in somebody's life.
Or if you're listening on your cell phone, you can just dial pound 250 and say the word food when prompted. Or you can open the AM 560 mobile app, tap on the button that says "Give the Gift of Hope this Christmas," so it's easy to do on your cell as well, smartphone as well. Also, we've got our Business Benefactor Program again this year. That's where business leaders can make a $2,500 tax-deductible gift to Food for the Poor. And in return for your generosity, we're going to provide a little bit of our own 40, 60-second commercials that will run Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., our prime broadcasting hours. To get, and by the way, that's worth significantly more than $2,500. To get enrolled in the Business Benefactor Program, call our sales manager. He is Michael Mann, and his number is 847-871-1527. Again, Michael Mann at 847-871-1527.
And you're not going to want to miss it. 7:35 this morning. We're going to have Florette and Andrew Sokolsky. They're a local family that has built a hospital in Haiti, and it's a remarkable story of how they became involved with Food for the Poor and how many lives they have saved. So be sure to be here for 7:35 and stay with us always, because coming up next on Chicago's Morning Answer
are Trump's tweets destabilizing the planet. We'll ask Congressman Adam Kinzinger, and we'll also introduce you to a Democrat candidate for Attorney General in Michigan. She wants you to know, you the voter, to know that you can trust her not to show you her penis. I'm not kidding.
Wow. New campaign ads everywhere popping up. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
43 degrees. This morning, 6:30 is our time on AM 560, The Answer, and Disgraced. Today's show host Matt Lauer speaking out about the sexual misconduct allegations that led to his sudden firing on Wednesday. The Today Show read a statement this morning saying that Lauer agreed that some of what is being said about him is true, but other characterizations are untrue. But he did say there's enough truth to what's being said to make him feel embarrassed and ashamed. He did stop short of apologizing. President Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has apparently been questioned by special counsel Robert Mueller's team of investigators about former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. That, according to a person familiar with the investigation who spoke with the Associated Press late Wednesday night on the condition of anonymity. The U.S. ambassador to the UN is calling for bold action against North Korea.
So today, we call on all nations to cut off all ties with North Korea.
At an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council, Nikki Haley demanding action over North Korea's latest missile launch. Utah Senator Mike Lee working with a fellow Republican to help more parents benefit from a child tax credit. Lee saying yesterday he asked the president to support a few tweaks in the ongoing debate over tax reform and the package being considered by Congress.
He acknowledged what some in the group were articulating, which was that we need to find ways to spread out more of the benefits of this bill to cover people on the individual side and not just corporations.
Lee and fellow Florida Senator Marco Rubio want to amend the current plan being considered by the Senate to allow the child tax credit to be applied to payroll taxes. Facebook saying this morning its artificial intelligence technology helps remove about 99% of terrorist content before it's flagged by users. The social media giant saying this week it's taking down more than 80% of content by terror groups, including ISIS and Al-Qaeda, within an hour of it being uploaded. Today is the last day of the controversial Cook County soda tax. County commissioners voting last month to repeal the penny per ounce tax following a public backlash. 3 adults and a child hurt following a large blaze on Chicago's northwest side. Fire began early this morning in the 3800 block of West Montrose. The victims were hospitalized in fair to serious condition, and at least a dozen are left without a home. The Emanuel administration says it's going to pick up the legal slack created by the Trump administration's refusal to be aggressive in public interest lawsuits. Next year's city budget includes money for a 4-lawyer affirmative litigation unit that will take up cases like the city's recent suits against Uber and Equifax. Chicago sports, college hoops last night. Northern Illinois lost to Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Troy beat UIC. Marquette over Chicago State. In the Valley, Southern Illinois a win, and Nevada beat Illinois State. The news, a service of Staples. Staples helps promote your business with print materials like presentations, brochures, postcards, and promotional products designed to impress clients. And now save 20% off print and marketing service orders of $50 or more. Staples, it's pro time. Exclusions apply. Ends 12/2/17. 6:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
For families who love the great outdoors every season, the only place to go this season is Cabela's Christmas sale. Don't miss Saturday, 8 a.m. doorbusters. Shop in-store and online at Cabela's.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Before I started taking this Balance of Nature, I had no energy. Since I've been taking this Balance of Nature, I have had the energy, and I just thank God. It's really been a blessing to me. Even my eyesight seems to be better because my other glasses I couldn't wear. It wasn't strong enough. But when I put the other glasses on, the one that was kind of weak, I could see so clear out of them. I said, what is this?
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
Chicago homeowners, there's never been a better time to permanently fix your low water pressure, rusty water, and pipe leaks by repiping your home today. Repipe Specialist has been serving Chicago for many years, collectively repiping over 35,000 homes in their 25 years in business. They've built a reputation on offering the most efficient repipe process for seamless installation and customer convenience, repiping an entire home in just 1 to 2 days, patching your walls, and providing a lifetime guarantee. Repipe Specialist only uses the best repiping materials with USA Grade L copper or high-quality PEX pipes. For a limited time, take advantage of their most affordable offer. Right now, on approved credit, prices start as low as $99 per month. That's right, a quality home repipe, wall patching, a lifetime guarantee, and prices starting at just $99 per month. They'll provide a free in-home estimate explaining their process tailored for your home. So, call Repipe Specialist today for your free in-home estimate at 800-216-0130. That's 800-216-0130. 800-216-0130.
It is 6:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound, 26 minutes. Lake Cook to the junction. In Skokie, eastbound Oakton is closed from the Edens to Grosse Pointe due to a crash. Outbound Edens, 21 minutes from Montrose to Lake Cook. Kennedy inbound, 38 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 29. Don Eisenhower, 52 minutes, 390 to the Circle. Outbound, it's 34 minutes. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound, 37. Ryan is 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-States, though, from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. 8094, tight eastbound Kennedy to Clyde. Westbound, stop and go I-65 to Chase Street with a crash in the right lane. Traffic, service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. You can post a job in minutes and manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Clouds give way to sun, high 51. A moonlit sky overnight, low 30. Currently 44 at O'Hare, 45 along the lakefront. This morning it's 40 in Aurora. And your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
Some call me the sage from South Central. Others call me the czar of common sense. But you can call me Larry Elder. And you're invited to join me tonight, starting at 7, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. It's been a lovely morning. We've learned all about poppers from all the drug addicts and first responders and criminal defense attorneys that chime in on this.
Yeah, poppers are to wake people up who are unconscious.
Or to assault Bette Midler.
Exactly.
There's there are multiple purposes. And we're also learning that Matt Lauer is contrite-ish over what he is accused of having done.
Once again, NBC is leading the news on investigating their own, and Matt
Oh,
Lauer.
yeah,
no, I mean
right.
this is great. How
Yeah.
convenient for them. Matt Lauer has spoken through a statement.
This morning, it is a difficult morning here again because our top story is once again about our former colleague, Matt Lauer.
And in fact, we just moments ago received a statement from Matt, and let me read it to you. There are no words to express my sorrow and regret for the pain I have caused others by words and actions. To the people I have hurt, I am truly sorry. As I am writing this, I realize the depth of the damage and disappointment I have left behind at home and at NBC. Some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. I regret that my shame is now shared by the people I cherish dearly. Repairing the damage will take a lot of time and soul searching, and I'm committed to beginning that effort.
Yeah.
It is now my full-time job.
Yeah.
The last 2 days have forced me to take a very hard look at my own troubling flaws. It's been humbling. I am blessed to be surrounded by people I love. I thank them for their patience and grace.
He said hard.
I know. He said some of what is being said about him is untrue or mischaracterized.
Well, sure. I mean, there's all kinds of things that are being said. The question is, are the specific allegations against him true and not mischaracterized? That's the question. I mean, he should have stopped when he said there are no words. So, okay, so don't use them. Okay. Thank you, Matt Lauer. I get it. And I know that Savannah and everybody over at the Today Show is just beset by having to pick over his bones for ratings on the Today Show.
And then last night they had the
Give me
tree
a
lighting
break.
ceremony in Rockefeller
yeah.
Plaza, and they all looked puffy-eyed from
Oh,
crying all
sure.
day. And,
Yeah, they're so put
they're just
upon.
smiling like, okay, we got to
Yeah.
get through this. We just got to carry on.
Sure. Who knew? I mean, it's such a shock. Who knew that
They all knew.
Matt Lauer was such a sleaze? Well, NBC executives knew. Most of them knew. Megyn Kelly, who's been there for 5 minutes, said she heard rumors. But
We heard rumors
nobody
here in
nobody else
Chicago.
did.
We heard when he and David Bloom would come visit, they'd always say, be careful, they're skirt chasers.
Yeah.
So everybody knew.
So here's how this is visiting itself in the political arena. You got an attorney general candidate in Michigan. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Attorney general candidate Dana Nessel is a Democrat in Michigan, and she is making her case to the voters in no uncertain terms.
If the last few weeks has taught us anything, it's that we need more women in positions of power, not less. So, when you're choosing Michigan's next Attorney General, ask yourself this. Who can you trust most not to show you their penis in a professional setting? Is it the candidate who doesn't have a penis? I'd say so.
Hi.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I'd like candidate Nessel to prove that. I mean, we shouldn't take politicians at their word.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's provocative.
I've heard it all before, Miss Nessel. Read my lips, no new taxes. I didn't have sexual relations with that woman. I won't sexually harass my staff. I won't show you my staff. I've heard it all before. Why should I believe you now? I've been burned too many times. This is how silly it's getting. This is the mania that we've been talking about, the distinction between serious allegations that deserve serious attention and then categorizing everything as the same, regardless of the quality of the allegation or the credibility of the accuser. You have to make distinctions in this life. You have to do the work. For more on this topic, and I won't ask him to respond directly to Ms. Nessel in Michigan, we're pleased to be joined by Representative Adam Kinzinger, of course, Republican congressman from Illinois' 16th Congressional District. Adam, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
I mean, like,
wow.
Hi, good to be with you.
Hi.
Yeah.
I heard the ad, and I'm just like, wow, that's where we're at now. But okay.
Yeah, it's referendums on body parts. That's how we're going to elect people. That seems intelligent, doesn't it?
Or maybe you should write and be like, I promise I'm not going to murder somebody.
Yeah.
Or, all this kind of stuff. Maybe, if we're down to those basic promises, I guess. Well, okay.
But there is a serious now. Okay, so let's separate the silly, what we were just talking about, from the serious, and the issue of how Congress treats allegations against members of Congress that's been highlighted by the John Conyers case.
Yeah.
The process that accusers have to go through, the hush money that is paid out, the slush fund that exists. What is to be done about all of that?
Yeah, so we're going to fix it. I mean, the vast majority of us. In fact, we had a conference meeting yesterday, which is where all the the Republican congressmen to get together to talk about the week, and this issue came up. I mean, the vast majority of us had no idea how this process worked because we haven't been charged or accused, and so why would you necessarily know? And what happened is it's the Congressional Accountability Act in '95. This was put into effect. So you hear about the $17 million or whatever that was paid out. The vast majority of that, from what I understand, we're trying to get a total number, was like asbestos claims. It's maybe workplace discrimination. Somebody said they were fired because they were old versus, whatever else. But the sexual harassment falls under that. So what we're going to do, or I say we being, the folks that are on the administration committee, are getting in there to figure out, what do we need to do to make sure that a congressman who's accused still has due process, but that it's not this sort of hush money, everything's kept private scheme so that people, serial harassers or whatever can get away with it. And I think it's important to bring that out into daylight, to flush that out correctly, but to do it where everybody has due process. And, ultimately the vast majority of people I work with out here are fantastic people that wouldn't do things, but you have a few that are, and they need to be exposed.
Well, as a congressman, when did you know or become privy to this sexual harassment fund that they had set up for people?
When you guys did, it was when it all hit the news. I mean,
really, that's when you found out as well?
Yeah, that's actually the vast majority of people, and even folks on the House Admin Committee can't fully answer the questions because it's an automatic process that was set up in '95 or '96 under, I think, the Congressional Accountability Act, and it actually was a step to the right direction from where we were prior to '96, but they're getting all this information together, coming together and saying, okay, well, here's where the payouts have been and everything else. So we will have more information. We'll hopefully have that situation fixed or corrected, however you want to say it, changed by next week. This week we're passing the bill that says, now we have to do a mandatory sexual harassment training, which me and my office actually completed yesterday. And so, yeah.
I appreciate the kind of signaling nature of some of this. The same thing's happening in Springfield. Of course, what's not happening in Springfield is actually the disclosure of the complaints that were left untended to for more than a year when there was no legislative inspector general. So, the kind of mandatory sexual harassment training. I mean, did you learn anything about, that you're supposed to keep your hands to yourself and respect people? I mean, is this news?
It's CY. I mean, to be honest with you, like for somebody like me that's been in a workplace for a long time, it's kind of CYA. To be honest with you,
right, exactly.
For a new intern coming in or somebody that's never really worked, yeah, it's important. But I'm a military guy, and I mean we do this every quarter, so to me it was nothing new. And look, I was raised in a good home to teach. Hey, it's basically keep your hands to yourself, especially if you're a boss, for goodness sakes.
Right.
President Trump. President tweets. You like that?
No,
President Trump has a tweet backlash. I mean, under fire for tweeting those anti-Muslim videos. Did you take a look at any of those?
Yeah, I didn't see the video, but yeah, I'm familiar, obviously, with all that.
But he's getting a rare rebuke from, UK's Prime Minister, Theresa May, and even the Dutch said that that's not the guy in the crutches. The person that's attacking him is a Dutch national. So,
yeah.
I mean, when is this craziness going to stop? Because it's so wildly irresponsible.
Yeah, I don't defend a lot of the president's Twitter use. I think some of it, I think a president or a politician in general should always punch up, not down. I think the war on terror, we have to understand that this is a generational fight. It's not just going to be we're going to have Muslims actually reject this philosophy. And these tweets don't help. At the same time, there is a bit of hysteria, which is, we're going to lose the war on terror because of a presidential tweet. Not true. I mean, look, we're, it's not as dramatic as some people play it out to be. Now, I'll be honest, though, and say I wish the president would run his tweets through some filter of, hey, is this presidential or isn't it? But at the same time, this isn't, the beginning of World War III because of what the president's tweeted out. There's a lot of hysteria and, everywhere. People need to take a deep breath and, frankly, enjoy Christmas when it's coming.
We'll enjoy Christmas more if we get tax cuts passed.
Amen, brother.
I know that's on the Senate side now, but what are you hearing about the prospects for that for the Senate to get their plan out this week, and then you guys to conference and reconcile it and get it to the president's desk before said Christmas.
Let me preface this by saying I was very optimistic about Obamacare repeal.
Yes.
So take this for what it's worth. But I actually think we're in a way better position. This came out with huge numbers in the House. I think the Senate's going to get there and then pass whatever their version is, and then I think we're going to stay in session. We actually may come back a day early next week. Typically, I think we're going to come in like Tuesday. I think we're going to come in Monday to go right to conference, depending on when the Senate passes, because we don't want to delay. We want to go right to conference. We don't want to speed through it unnecessarily, but get this thing done by the end of the year. And I think it'll just be a huge breath of fresh air into the economy and something we need.
All right. He is Congressman Adam Kinzinger, who was raised in a good home and taught to keep his hands to himself, just for the record.
Well, it's refreshing. It really is.
Republican from the 16th. Adam, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
You bet, guys. Take care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Senate Republicans may defy the president on corporate tax cuts. BuzzFeed laying off about 8% of its workers. Those stories next. Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours, and they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. Senate Republicans said to be looking at offering companies a 22% tax cut, not the 20% currently under consideration, in a bid to come up with more money for other priorities, including a child tax credit that is somewhat higher. The president made corporate tax cuts a key priority of his economic program. A vote is set for Thursday on the Senate tax plan. The web service BuzzFeed facing a big revenue shortfall. It plans to lay off about 8% of its workforce and reorganize its business operations. This as BuzzFeed faces fierce competition for online advertising revenue. Economic reports today include new jobless claims, and we'll have an update on personal income as well as trends in wages and benefits. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Looking for that magical holiday gift and not sure where to go? Well, I have the perfect place. Give a gift from Roland's Jewelers and create that magical holiday moment. Buying jewelry is about trust, and Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville is a place you can trust. Roland's is excited to offer AM 560 listeners special savings up to $500 on designer brands like Mickey Moto, John Hardy, Roberto Coin. Save on luxury watches like Tag Heuer, Michelle Shinola, and I'm sure Shinola. If you're thinking about getting engaged, gentlemen, Roland's has beautiful designer engagement rings that are a direct diamond importer, so you benefit from wholesale prices on perfectly cut loose diamonds. Visit Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville, and as an AM 560 listener, save up to $500 this holiday season. Visit RolandsJewelers.com or call 847-918-7300. Trust Roland's for all your magical gift giving this holiday season. Roland's Jewelers, a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
Give joy, get joy right now at Kohl's. It's the one time of year friends and family take an extra 25% off. With an extra 25% off, outerwear for her is just $37.50. Boots for him are $29.99. And stockings for the family are just $11.24 each. Plus, get Kohl's Cash. Presents for them, Kohl's Cash for you. And remember, only once a year, friends and family take an extra 25% off. Give joy, get joy at Kohl's. Select styles, 25% off are valid November 30th through December 6th with promo code HOLIDAY. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
96 elephants are killed every day in Africa for their ivory. That's 35,000 a year. With your support, more poachers can be caught. With your voice, we can inspire more countries to ban ivory sales and reduce demand. Go to 96elephants.org and join more than 1 million people dedicated to saving Africa's elephants. Protect their home. Take action at 96elephants.org.
Can your kindergartner be told they cannot share a song with the class because it mentions Jesus? This is Law and Justice with Jay Sekulow.
A couple of weeks ago, my son's in kindergarten. The teacher allowed a couple other students to sing a song that they wanted to share with the class. A couple of days after that, my son went up to the teacher, asked to share a song about Jesus, and she basically said, no, we can't do that at school.
Well, that's incorrect. If the students are allowed to perform music, and it's music of their choice, your son should have been able to sing the song about Jesus. We've had, dozens of cases of those over the year, and the teacher's just absolutely incorrect. It's not only an overreaction, she's wrong on this. Let me get you in touch with our lawyers here at the American Center for Law and Justice. We'll get you in touch with our legal staff and get some help to you right away.
Find out more at aclj.org. That's aclj.org.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender involves so much more than just a rate. Only Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards. No other lender comes close to that level of client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage. It gives our clients a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online in minutes. No one else has anything like it. And our people. Each one of our 17,000-plus team members throughout Detroit, Cleveland, and Phoenix provides absolute client satisfaction each and every day. So why would you go anywhere else to get your mortgage? Go to America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
You know what? They do make me feel better. I really do. Like, it has helped me a lot. It gives me energy. They're working out for me, and so I'm really, really happy.
When I first started taking it, someone mentioned my my skin, and that was like within like the first couple of weeks, and I thought, wow.
I feel like $1 million. Really love the product. I gotta tell you, I don't no longer have those energy lows at 4 o'clock when I'm falling asleep. I am doing things I ordinarily would not do.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
'Tis the season for giving, and once again, AM 560, The Answer, has paired up with a wonderful organization, Food for the Poor. They're an international relief and development organization. They're based in the United States, but they are on the ground helping those in need across the world, especially in places right now like the Caribbean, places hit by the hurricanes, and also in Guatemala and in Haiti. And we're asking for a one-time donation. Dan, a one-time donation. Dan, have you ponied up yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, one-time donation of $50, and with $50,
Do it in my time.
you'll provide food for a year and clean water for life. Here's what you do. You call this number, 844-862-4673. That's 844-862-HOPE, H-O-P-E. Or you can visit 560theanswer.com, search for the keyword food, and it takes just a few minutes. Honestly, I've already donated. My mom made a donation on my behalf because I didn't really need anything for Christmas, so I said, hey, make a donation in my name, and that would be much appreciated.
The other way to participate and expedite our goal of getting to 3,000 children who will get food for a year and water for life, thanks to our campaign this year, is to enroll in our business benefactor program. Here's how that works. Any business that makes a $2,500 tax-deductible gift to Food for the Poor will receive as gratitude from us 40 one-minute commercials that will air Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., our prime broadcasting hours. That's worth significantly more than $2,500. To enroll in that program, call sales manager Michael Mann. You can call him at 847-871-1527. Again, Michael Mann, who's our sales manager, will get you enrolled in that business benefactor program if you're a business owner or somebody that makes the marketing decisions for a business. Michael Mann's number, 847-871-1527.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer. Coming up.
What would you like to talk about? I'll tell you what I'd like to talk about.
Why don't
this
you
is
go
going to surprise you.
Property taxes in Illinois.
No. The royal couple.
Oh, no, you didn't. No.
Who hates Catholicism more, the D.C. Metro or the royal family at 7:07?
And later, how Jimmy Garoppolo is getting inundated with ticket requests for this Sunday's football game. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Last day of the Cook County soda tax, smash and grab robbery at a Schaumburg jewelry store near the Woodfield Mall. 4 hurt in a serious Northwest Side blaze. Mayor Rahm Emanuel continues to push for a high-speed rail line to O'Hare. We'll give you the history of that push dating back to the first Mayor Daley. Handcuffs ordered for Cook County detainees accused of public indecency. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
Matt Lauer says he's really sorry. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. He's responded now to his firing by NBC and the sexual harassment accusations against him. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more from New York.
In the wake of more details coming out about Matt Lauer's behavior with female staffers at NBC, we're now hearing from him in the form of that statement. Today, co-host Savannah Guthrie read it this morning on the air, which started with an apology from Lauer for the pain he's caused others.
Some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. I regret that my shame is now shared by the people I cherish dearly.
Lauer also says he is committed to repairing the damage he's done and calls that effort his, quote, full-time job. Chris?
Well, it's the only job he's got now, I guess. Thanks, Tanya. The Senate Republican tax plan is now up for debate on the floor, with amendments being kicked around to get more support.
Senators will debate tax reform for up to 20 hours, evenly split between Republicans and Democrats. Republicans are not yet at the necessary 50 to get this through. Ron Johnson, Steve Daines, big question marks. They're concerned about small business.
Fox's Leland Vittert in D.C. President Trump calling North Korean leader Kim Jong-un Little Rocket Man again on Twitter this morning, writing, hard to believe his people and the military put up with living in such horrible conditions. It's other tweets that have people talking in England. Fox's Simon Owens in London.
Chris, after President Trump retweeted 3 anti-Muslim videos posted by a British far-right leader, UK Interior Minister Amber Rudd saying the president was wrong.
This government will not tolerate any groups who spread hate by demonising those of other faiths or ethnicities.
Prime Minister Theresa May's officers also criticised the president. He shot back, Theresa May, don't focus on me, focus on the destructive radical Islamic terrorism that is taking place in the UK. Chris.
Simon, thanks. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
43 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Today, the last day of that controversial Cook County soda tax. County commissioners voted last month to repeal the penny per ounce tax following public backlash. 3 adults and a child hurt following a large blaze on Chicago's Northwest Side. Fire began early this morning inside a 3-story building in the 3800 block of West Montrose. Several had to be rescued, a dozen left without a home. Authorities investigating following a smash-and-grab robbery at a Jarrett Galleria of Jewelry store in Schaumburg near the Woodfield Mall. One man is in critical condition after being shot by a police officer on Chicago's South Side. Authorities say the victim was armed with a gun when an officer fired during a confrontation near 61st and South King Drive. That man was taken to Stroger Hospital while that incident is under investigation. Mayor Emanuel moving forward with plans to build a high-speed rail line between downtown and O'Hare. The mayor announcing yesterday his office has sent out a request for qualifications to identify firms interested.
This investment will write the next chapter, in my view, in Chicago's story as an economic powerhouse that moves at lightning speed.
The city launched plans for an express train under former Mayor Richard Daley as part of the Block 37 project. That project was eventually scrapped. American Airlines scrambling to fill a holiday pilot shortage at some of the nation's biggest airports like LaGuardia, Dallas-Fort Worth, and O'Hare. Captain Dennis Tager of the Airline Pilots Union says a major glitch has allowed pilots to take vacation between December 17th and New Year's Eve.
We're not looking at placing blame. We're looking at repairing the problem and ensuring that the over 15,000 flights that are not manned over the critical last 2 weeks of December do have pilots in the cockpit.
American says it's offering pilots who come to work instead of taking that time off during the busy holiday period 150% of hourly pay. State officials have reported another case of Legionnaire's disease at a Western Illinois veterans home. The case at the Illinois Vets Home in Quincy was reported this week by the Department of Veterans Affairs. It comes after 2 cases were reported at that facility in October, and more than 2 years after a major outbreak of that disease killed 12. Chicago sports. Bulls try to end a 6-game losing skid tonight against the Nuggets in Denver, while the Blackhawks begin a home-and-home against the Stars tonight at the UC. The news, a service of Chevrolet. It's the Chevy Closeout. 2017's going fast. Finds special closeout pricing on many of their most popular 2017 Chevy models. Visit your local Chevy dealer. Trade up to a new car, truck, or crossover today. Chevrolet, find new roads. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
When it comes to the holidays, the hustle and bustle doesn't stop. Well, unless your car breaks down. Whatever this season brings, it helps to have Hum by Verizon. Hum is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers. Now you can check your car's health from your phone, get help if you're stuck on the side of the road, and if Hum detects a crash, it can automatically notify emergency services. It's a smart way to stay informed about your car and keep your family safer on the road. This holiday season, get Hum and get where you're going. Visit hum.com or your local Verizon store for special holiday savings.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. Choosing the right mortgage lender involves much more than just a rate. Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards for client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage, a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online. No one else has anything like it. So choose Quicken Loans, America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
7:06. Let's get an update on the morning commute in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Metra is reporting delays of under 20 minutes on several trains on the BNSF Southwest Heritage Corridor lines in the wake of Tuesday's derailment and ongoing cleanup at Union Station. Eden's inbound at Skokie Road. Watch out for medical emergency just reported. We see delays between Niles Center and Montrose. 28 minutes Lake Cook Junction, outbound 23. Kennedy, 48 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 24 from Montrose, 22 in the Express, outbound 37 to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to downtown, 46 minutes from Manheim, outbound 36 to 390. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 45 minutes from the Tri-State, outbound 40 to 355. Ryan, 31 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 40 minutes, 8094 to the Ryan. Northbound Tri-State slow, 111th to the Mile Long Bridge. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Way, sent from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Northbound Veterans Memorial, heavy, 75th to the Reagan Tollway. Westbound 8094, delays are from Central to Chase, crash to the right lane. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, clouds give way to some sun, high 51. A moonlit sky tonight, low 30. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 49. And a partly cloudy night with a low tomorrow night, 36. Clouds and sun Saturday, high 51. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
42 at O'Hare, 45 along the lakefront. It is 36 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by 10 Pin Bowling Lounge. Let their expert team plan a smashing holiday party for your office. Go to 10pinchicago.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So all kinds of updates with respect to those accused of various levels of sexual misconduct, including Al Franken. Bill Clinton accusers Juanita Broaddrick and Kathleen Willey showed up to Franken's Senate office in D.C. yesterday,
Oh, really?
barged in demanding that he resign.
Well, and we have breaking news this morning about Al Franken, a fifth accuser coming forward within the last few minutes. Army veteran said Franken groped her during a USO tour in 2003. She's telling CNN that while she was deployed in Kuwait, the Minnesota Democrat cupped her breast during a photo op. She's 41 years old. She's from Mainsville, Ohio. And he wasn't senator at the time, but she remembers thinking, is he going to move his hand again? That's what she just told CNN.
It's interesting. Jeet here in New Republic is calling, as a couple of members, Democrat members of Congress have done, calling on both John Conyers and Al Franken to resign. His piece, resign right now. Why? Because if they don't resign and they continue to have events like Nancy Pelosi turning herself into a human pretzel on Meet the Press to try and defend John Conyers, then they lose the ability to go after Donald Trump or anybody on the right that may be accused, because so many men of the left are the targets of these allegations in politics, in media, in Hollywood. It's almost exclusively men of the left.
Yeah, and men of the left, Al Franken, according to this latest accuser, when he put his arm around me, he groped my right breast. He kept his hand all the way over on my breast. I've never had a man put their arm around me and then cup my breast. Can she say the word breast anymore? So he was holding my breast on the side. She said the word embarrassed and she just remembers clenching up and how you just feel yourself flush, she said. And I remember thinking, is he going to move his hand? Was it an accident? Was he going to move his hand? He never moved his hand.
And noted NPR bad boy Garrison Keillor.
Oh, yeah, he's hot. Oof. I mean, I have a poster up of him on my room, in my bedroom.
Yeah.
I might have to take it down now.
Yeah, wearing something provocative.
I mean, who's hotter, Michael Moore or Garrison Keillor? I don't know.
So Garrison Keillor has turned Lake Wobegon into Lake Egon. He accused by a single individual of an inappropriate touching. Seems like a single event. He was ash canned by NPR yesterday, along with another NPR news editor that's also gone. NPR's had a string of people that had to be relieved of their duties amid these sorts of allegations.
I know, it's one allegation, and Minnesota Public Radio hired an outside law firm to conduct this investigation, against this allegation of Garrison Keillor, which there was just one in 50 years, one. And it was a woman who was distraught, and a friend of his, and he put his hand on her bare back, and he doesn't deny doing it because it wasn't sexual. I mean, it was just...
Yeah.
And then this is my favorite, though. Ready? This is what he told the Star Tribune yesterday. If I had $1 for every woman who asked me to take a selfie and who slipped an arm around me and let it drift down below the belt line...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you hottie. I'd have at least $100. So this is a poetic irony.
That's happened
of a
400 times to Garrison Keillor.
Yeah. But I'm just fine. I had a good long run, and I'm grateful for it and for everything else. But, I mean, if I were him, I'd be upset.
Well, here's the thing. Garrison Keillor has a point. Look, ladies, Garrison Keillor is not just a piece of meat. All right? I know he's a hot slice of beefcake, but he's also a human being.
He has feelings, don't you know?
Derek in Wisconsin, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Morning, guys. I've got a Garrison Keillor story, but I'd like to point out first that this goes along with something that you've said all along, Dan, that you've preached, actually, that right, left, or in the middle, we should not put our faith in the politician as the person, but put our faith and our support in the policies that they support. And it's becoming more and more clear every day with with these new accusations on new politicians. I grew up. My summer job in high school was at an auto body shop, and the proprietor was a fan of A Prairie Home Companion. So he would record the show on Saturday evenings and then play it, on the stereo throughout the week, bits and pieces, and I hated it. And
I love Garrison Keillor. All right.
Well, I was at that age where this wasn't cool,
Yeah.
But over time, I kind of developed a liking for it, and actually went to 5 or 6 of his shows, mainly because it was one of the last live radio shows, and that was something that I thought was kind of neat. And the venues that he played in or they performed in, they were great too. The Fitzgerald in Minneapolis, the Auditorium in Chicago.
And the next thing you know, you can't get enough of Ira Glass and David Sedaris, and you're a regular NPR-ophile, Derek.
Oh, my gosh. Well, his politics and the fact that we subsidized his show with taxpayer money literally made me want to drive my semi into a bridge. But, we still enjoyed the show. So, and it was with special people, my wife and family. And the last show that we went to, it was on his quote-unquote retirement tour last year in Milwaukee. And watched the show. It was enjoyable. We kind of mulled around afterwards, and I went stage left and waited for him to walk down and, I guess, get his selfies with his women.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
I approached him and I said, Mr. Keillor, my wife and I are from Central Wisconsin. We enjoyed the show, and he extended a hand and had a solid handshake. And I had to throw this in there just because I knew I wouldn't see him again. And I said, we're conservative and we love the show. His hand turned to butter in my hand, and his face, he could not turn away and walk those red shoes away from me fast enough. It was wonderful.
That's awesome. And when did he put his hand on your bare back?
He didn't mind, but I better check with the wife because she might not have brought that part up.
All right, thanks for the story, Derek. Appreciate it.
I just 1 second.
Oh, hello everybody, and welcome to A Prairie Home Companion.
Oh yeah, it's so hot.
Well, I've seen 5 of his shows, and I interviewed him in Cedar Rapids. He performed at Hanshaw Auditorium in Iowa City.
That guy's like Tom Jones. Ladies throwing their undergarments on stage when he. And that's the news from Lake Wobegon. Matt in Oak Lawn.
Hey, good morning, guys. I haven't had an English class in about 20 years, but wouldn't the term "a man of the left" be an oxymoron?
Thank you for the call, man.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, a royal couple update, not from Amy Jacobson, but from Dan Proft.
That's right.
Wow, I knew I'd suck you in. I knew I'd get you interested. But first, here's your forecast for today. Another day of pleasant temperatures. Clouds giving way to some sun, a high of 51 degrees. Tonight, a moonlit sky, a low of 30. And for Friday, it's going to be mostly sunny. Beautiful day, a high near 50 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Good morning. South Barrington, eastbound Algonquin is closed. Palatine Road to Eastings Way, there's a multi-vehicle crash there. Eden's inbound heavy Willow to Skokie Road with a medical emergency. Then from Devon to the junction. 30 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 27. Kennedy, now 54 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 49. The Eisenhower's an hour from 390 to downtown. Outbound it's 36 minutes. Stevenson an hour, 355 to the drive, outbound 40 minutes. Ryan, 31 minutes, 95th to the loop. Bishop Ford, a crash before 115th on the right shoulder. It's 40 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. Southbound Tri-States, though, from 120 to Atkinson. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Gather your friends, your family, and coworkers to team up for a holiday party that will be remembered for years to come. Make 10 Pin Bowling Lounge your destination for your office party or get-together. I bowl at 10 Pin. It's fun. 10 Pin isn't just bowling, though. It's a cool, comfortable, upscale lounge with great music, delicious food, and a tempting drink list. You have to see their 128-foot video wall featuring your favorite sports teams or your own presentation. And you'll be on your game on one of the 24 state-of-the-art bowling lanes. If the pins don't go down as easily as the martinis, burgers, and conversation, don't worry. It's only part of the fun. Let their expert team of party planners customize your event, big or small. There's room for everyone. So enjoy your next happy hour, corporate outing, or party at 10 Pin Bowling Lounge downtown on State Street, right next to the House of Blues. Come for the bowling or just come for everything else. Get started today at 10pinchicago.com. That's 10PinChicago, the number 10, 10PinChicago.com.
This holiday season, make the smart choice and switch to Sprint and get a new Samsung Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, Note 8, or S8 Active with 50% off your lease. That's right, the hottest Samsung devices 50% off. Plus, with Galaxy Forever, you can upgrade to the latest Galaxy anytime after 12 lease payments. And when you switch to Sprint, you get the best price for unlimited. $25 per month per line for a family of 4, plus get a 5th line free. That's 50% off Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. You also get 10 gigabytes of mobile hotspot in HD, so you can stream your favorite holiday movies, music, and games. So stop by your local Sprint store, sprint.com/holiday deals, or call 1-800-SPRINT1 to learn more.
Requires 18-month lease and new line savings via monthly credit applied within 2 bills. Early termination results in remaining balance due after 1/31/19. Pay $38 a line per month with autopay. Excludes taxes, surcharges, and roaming. Compared to Verizon Beyond Unlimited rates, AT&T Unlimited Plus plan, and T-Mobile One Plus plan for 5 lines. Carrier features differ. Coverage and offer not everywhere. Subject to credit and $30 activation fee. Speed maximums, use rules, and restrictions apply.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
And there it is, the Downton Abbey music. Normally this is reserved for Aaron Schock, but since we actually have a royal couple.
Yes, a royal princess. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Northwestern grad, Kappa Gamma.
Catholic bigot.
Who's a Catholic bigot?
Oh, the royal family.
Meghan Markle?
Yeah.
Or the royal family?
Well, she's participating in the bigotry. She's committing heresy. You mentioned earlier in this week, amid all of your gory details about Miss Merkel.
Lovely
Right.
details about Miss Markle.
By the way, I did watch one episode of Suits. That's the show she's on.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm going to watch more.
Her TV husband on Suits tweeted yesterday, and I thought she was just going out for milk. I think.
Boy, the writers at Suits must be great, because when he's
No,
left to his
that's
own
funny,
device.
because she's quit the show officially.
So Markle was already baptized. You're talking about she's going to get
Well,
baptized.
she's going to get baptized with the Church of England.
Right. She was baptized, and she was baptized in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, but a lot of people come from Catholicism to Episcopalianism
Mhm.
or becoming a Methodist.
Well,
my priest,
a
my
lot of
pastor.
people from Catholicism. Well,
Well, I mean,
you're-
there are a lot of Catholics leave the Catholic Church and become either Lutheran or Episcopalian. And when they do, they get baptized
yeah, I mean, well,
or rebaptized.
like I mean, your pastor's case, I guess, join a cult.
Well, my sister was Episcopalian and she converted to Catholicism.
Well, I know, because she wanted to affiliate with an organized religion
Stop.
and a serious faith tradition. No, I understand. So here's the thing, though. She has to convert.
Yeah, and in order to marry into the royal family.
Mm-hmm. Under law, should the children of an heir be raised Catholic, they would not be able to inherit the throne.
Oh.
Yeah, the Catholic bigots in the royal
he's
family,
fifth in line,
these welfare queens, all of them in the British royal family that were so fascinated by Catholic bigotry, outlawing a religious tradition for the royal family subsidized by taxpayers. I'm sure the same people who decry the intersection between church and state, the incidental intersection, would have no problem with the fact that, and I understand that the U.S. Constitution is not applicable in England, but I'm talking about this philosophically and morally, no problem with the royal family and their Catholic bigotry subsidized by British taxpayers. I wonder how British Catholics feel about that.
So she was baptized Catholic.
Yeah.
Because her dad's Jewish, and at her first wedding, because she's a divorcee, They did the chair dance where they held her up and all that stuff.
Yeah, back in the day when the royal family had some dignity. Now this is 50 years ago. You'll recall Elizabeth's sister, Queen Elizabeth's sister, Princess Margaret, chose to give up her relationship with divorced Captain Peter Townsend, mindful of the Church's teaching that Christian marriage is indissoluble, and conscious of my duty to the Commonwealth, I have resolved to put these considerations before any others. Now it's willy-nilly, whatever, inbreeding and the whole thing. Thruples. I don't know.
I like Princess Margaret. Did you watch The Crown?
Bestiality. I don't know what's going on.
Bestiality.
Whatever.
Have you watched The Crown?
I watched a couple episodes of it.
That's
I got to go
good.
back. I mean, it was pretty good. I just kind of lost track of it, but I'll go back after I finish Suits.
Now you got sucked into Suits. So what's Suits about?
Nah,
Don't say people wearing suits.
Nah, it's kind of about a couple of fixers at a law firm.
Okay.
One's an actual attorney. One's kind of pretending to be, who's like kind of genius level recall and retention of information.
What about Meghan Markle? What character does
She's
she
a
play?
paralegal in the firm.
Oh. Is she a hottie? Is she like a sex kitten?
I mean, not like
Is this uncomfortable? Are you going to file a report against me?
I mean, she's not Garrison Keillor hot.
Maybe kind of Michael Moore hot?
Yeah. All right. So there's one group of Catholic bigots. They're just one royal family, and then another group. Washington Metro has rejected a Catholic ad campaign that promotes spiritual giving instead of presents, arguing that the image of stars, shepherds, and sheep promotes religion, which is a violation of the transit system's rules. The Archdiocese of Washington suggests that the D.C. Metro is wrong and have filed suit challenging Metro's ad guidelines as unconstitutional. Secretary of Com for the Arch of Washington, the rejected ad conveys a simple message of hope and an invitation to participate in the Christmas season. Citing its guidelines, the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, the legal counsel said the ad depicts a religious scene and thus promotes religion. To borrow from a favorite Christmas story under their guidelines, if the ads are about packages, boxes, or bags, if Christmas comes from a store, then it seems that it approves. But if Christmas means a little bit more, then the transit authority plays Grinch. What do you think about that? Fundamental rejection, a fundamental violation of free speech and a limitation on the exercise of faith, says the general counsel for the Archdiocese. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think there's a lot of Catholic bigotry because it's acceptable. Mark in Des Plaines.
Back to this king and queen thing. Thank goodness we do not have kings and queens in this country, and that the founders were inspired to give us a constitution that eliminates that. I mean, this morose fascination, this remote obsession people have with kings and queens in that country over there, which we all love as a friend and all of that crap. I mean,
we did
dear,
find a war to get
thank
away from us.
goodness we don't have kings and queens here in our system.
Mark, thanks for the call. Let me.
We do. Some politicians act like kings and queens.
That's where I was going. There's a great line in it was the second season of Fargo. One of the assassins in Fargo responded, "We don't have kings and queens here," and he said, "Sure we do. We just call them by different names." Mm-hmm. Ralph and Rantoul.
Hey, good morning. Hey, my British history is a bit foggy, but I think Henry VIII, right, with his marital problems,
Yeah.
formed
divorce
the
him.
Anglican Church because of the refusal of the Catholic Church at the time to grant him a divorce. So maybe they're just ticked off that the divorce is the wrong grant. It's a Catholic divorce as opposed to the official Anglican divorce. Maybe that would be more acceptable.
Yeah.
Well, since he couldn't get a
Little
divorce back then, he cut off their heads.
Got cross with the Archbishop of Canterbury there.
Yeah, there was a few decapitations in there, but
It's just an accident. I slipped and fell.
Yeah.
Well, it's official versus some random act.
Yeah. I'll stick on the side of Sir Thomas More. Thanks for the call, Ralph.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago homeowners, there's never been a better time to permanently fix your low water pressure, rusty water, and pipe leaks by repiping your home today. Repipe Specialist has been serving Chicago for many years, collectively repiping over 35,000 homes in their 25 years in business. They've built a reputation on offering the most efficient repipe process for seamless installation and customer convenience, repiping an entire home in just 1 to 2 days, patching your walls, and providing a lifetime guarantee. Repipe Specialist only uses the best repiping materials with USA Grade L copper or high-quality PEX pipes. For a limited time, take advantage of their most affordable offer. Right now, on approved credit, prices start as low as $99 per month. That's right, a quality home repipe, wall patching, a lifetime guarantee, and prices starting at just $99 per month. They'll provide a free in-home estimate explaining their process tailored for your home. So, call Repipe Specialist today for your free in-home estimate at 800-216-0130. That's 800-216-0130. 800-216-0130.
AM 560, The Answer.
Merry Christmas, baby. I am so excited about our next guest. Really a remarkable couple. They're from the area, and their daughter passed away, and in her honor, they started helping Haitians, and they've teamed up with Food for the Poor, and what they've done for the people of Haiti is extraordinary. We're going to have them on this program at 7:35 this morning.
Maybe we can get them to enroll in the Business Benefactor program. What do you think?
Always thinking, Dan.
Oh, yeah, ABC, always be closing, baby.
Oh.
That's how it is. And by the way, baby, I meant in a non-sexual way.
Excuse me,
Yeah,
did you say
so I
baby?
don't, yeah. All right.
I'm calling Debbie.
All right, I got to go call counsel now.
And here's what you do if you want to help out with our Food for the Poor campaign. 844-862-HOPE. That's 844-862-4673, or visit 560theanswer.com, keyword food. Coming up on Chicago's Morning, we will have that life-changing couple on our program, and you can hear what they've done to help the people of Haiti. But right now, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Sunshine 43. Disgraced Today Show host Matt Lauer is beginning to speak out about the sexual misconduct allegations that led to his firing on Wednesday. Savannah Guthrie, one of the Today Show hosts, read a statement by her former partner, Matt Lauer.
As I am writing this, I realize the depth of the damage and disappointment I have left behind at home and at NBC. Some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed.
Meantime, we're watching a developing story out of the U.S. Capitol this morning where two girls say they were groped while inside the Capitol building. Capitol Police say the tourists were on a tour November 22nd when a suspect inappropriately touched them and then took pictures. Authorities say the 20-year-old suspect was later arrested and charged of misdemeanor sex abuse. Virginia Congresswoman Barbara Comstock says she hopes now there will be an increase in visitor safety. President Trump is promoting a tax cut bill in the Senate. In Missouri yesterday, Trump praising a tax cut bill that recently cleared the House and pushed hard for passage of a similar bill in the Senate.
Tax cuts have already passed the House of Representatives. The eyes of the world now turn to the United States Senate.
British Prime Minister Theresa May not happy with President Trump for retweeting 3 anti-Muslim videos posted by a British far-right group. May saying through a spokesperson it was wrong for the president to have shared those videos. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley calling for all countries to cut off all ties with North Korea. Haley made that demand during an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. Today is the last day of that controversial Cook County soda tax. It was repealed last month. However, that repeal did create a $200 million budget gap. Authorities continue investigating a smash-and-grab robbery at a major jewelry store in Schaumburg. Police say 3 ran into Jared with hammers, smashed display cases, and ran off with diamonds. American Airlines is scrambling to fill a holiday pilot shortage. Some of the nation's biggest travel hubs like LaGuardia, Dallas-Fort Worth, and O'Hare. American says it's offering pilots who come to work instead of taking time off during the busy December 17th through New Year's Eve holiday period 150% of hourly pay. No one hurt after a fire breaks out at Eastern Illinois University. The blaze began last night in Douglas Hall when an electric motor sparked. The building was evacuated, but damage was minimal. College basketball tonight. Notre Dame squares off with Michigan State in East Lansing in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Illinois and Northwestern begin Big Ten play tomorrow night, but that game will be at the Allstate Arena. Bulls try to end a 6-game losing streak tonight against the Nuggets in Denver, while the Blackhawks begin a home-and-home with the Stars tonight. The news, a service of Cabela's. For families who love the great outdoors every season, the only place to go this season is Cabela's Christmas sale. Save $100 on a Vortex Crossfire scope. Plus, don't miss Saturday 8 a.m. doorbusters. Shop in-store and online at Cabela's.com. 7:33, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
We're about to head into the month of December.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Before you know it, Trump's first year in office will be over. Here's what the scorecard looks like. No wall. Obamacare's still here. We got no real tax reform coming our way. Are you serious? The Republicans in charge of the House and the Senate, that's how we're doing?
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jerry Kerrigan, one of the owners of F.J. Kerrigan Plumbing Company, a third-generation family-run business. Our trusted longtime accountant referred us to Signature Bank, and we've never been happier. On one of our first meetings, Signature Bank CEO Mick O'Rourke said, "You worry about running the business, and we'll take care of everything else." Since that initial meeting, Signature Bank has lived up to every promise they've made. The decision-making is local, the staff is consistent, and the service is outstanding. F.J. Kerrigan Plumbing understands the value of long-term customer relationships, and we plan to be a customer of Signature Bank for a long time to come.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
7:35. Check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Let's get the update from Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Indiana Toll Road westbound at Stop and Go from Klein Avenue to US 20 in East Chicago. The roadway's down to one lane with construction. Westbound 8094, we have delays central to Grant. Earlier crash in that area. Edens Expressway. It is 33 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 37 to Kennedy. Now an hour and 5 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Quicker in the locals than the Express. Outbound 48 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to downtown. Outbound 45 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 37 minutes. Ryan, 31 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Tri-States, though, 120 to Atkinson. Northbound 95th to 47th. Reagan to North Avenue and the Pennsylvania Bridge to Lawrence. Traffic, service of Med Express Urgent Care. Med Express Urgent Care is now open in Lombard and opening soon in Algonquin. Med Express treats everything from bronchitis and broken bones to viruses and stitches. Open 8 to 8 every day, no appointment needed. Med Express Urgent Care. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Clouds give way to sunshine, and what a beautiful start to the day right now. Sunny, and we'll top out at 51. Moonlit sky overnight, low of 30. Sunny and 49 tomorrow. Sunshine and 42 right now. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
AM 560, The Answer.
Mike mentioned Moonlight Sky. Moonlight Sky was the name of my college garage band. We were an Alan Parsons Project tribute band.
Oh, that's great.
So it kind of brings back memories. Yeah, thought I'd share that. All right, it's time to meet a couple of special people who have done really amazing, profound things for families in Haiti who suffer from life-threatening poverty. They were recently profiled back in August in the Daily Herald for the fundraising they've done for Food for the Poor to help the Haitian people, and in part, at least in part, in tribute to their dearly departed daughter. They are Florette and Andy Sokolsky of Inverness, and they join us now. Thanks for joining us, Florette and Andy. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's our pleasure. Absolutely.
Well, tell us about your story about getting involved with Food for the Poor and by extension, all the work that you've done to help the people in Haiti. Why decide to devote your philanthropic time and money to this cause?
Well, when Julie passed, we, of course, wanted to keep her memory alive. And we tried something on our own, a golf outing, Dan. And if she was alive, she probably would have beat you on the golf course.
Really? She was a good golfer.
Yeah.
Really?
I love it. Oh, yeah. She was most valuable and team captain at Barrington High School.
Oh, boy.
In fact, they named the yearly tournament after her.
You're right. She probably would have beat me.
Yeah, she might have. But she was just a little peanut. She was a small girl, but very good athlete. And after she passed, we went to live in the city. We had got a condo down there to be near her because she was at Northwestern for, I'd say, a good part of almost 7 years because she really suffered. And we decided to just maybe start one water well in her memory. And we gave a call to Father Med Laz, who was the founding pastor at our parish in Inverness, Father Med Laz. And we knew that he was doing work in Haiti and in the Dominican Republic. So we decided to team up because he was also working with Food for the Poor, and that's kind of how it started.
And that was
the
12...
Catholics, Amy.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Catholics.
Yeah. And that was 12 years ago. And I was recently in Haiti, and everybody knows you two. I mean, I'll say I was from Illinois, and they said, "Oh, do you know Florette and Andrew? Do you know Flo and Andy?" And they all know you because you helped build a hospital.
Yeah, the hospital is kind of our real prize amongst all the other projects that we've been able to be involved in there. And to your point that you've been making a lot, Amy, with the schools that are being built there this year, we're building a school we've taken on, it's actually a very large project, one of the biggest that Food for the Poor has done in Haiti.
I just wanted to mention that it was actually a swamp, that these people were living in filthy water in a swamp. And when Food for the Poor, we went with Father Med last May to look at the property to build the school, we really weren't sure if we wanted to be a part of it because it was one of the largest construction projects that Haiti has done. And we thought, well, what if it's not successful? What if it takes years? But actually, these people were almost afraid to leave the swamp. So I'm happy to say that right now the school is built and the homes are built. Oh, we think we have, 190 homes, and the school will...
we'll have about 155 to 160 children there. And it's, they're very excited about the people that we met in the village so far, very excited about their children being able to be proximate to a school as opposed to walking sometimes up to 2 hours just to... share part of a day in a classroom.
And with respect to the hospital, since you're kind of literally building these civic institutions that don't otherwise exist in Haiti, I saw in the profile piece in the Daily Herald, you two speaking with twins who are surgeons, Haitian surgeons at the hospital, two doctors, right. And so how has the hospital transformed kind of the quality of care? The life-saving capacity of Haitians to help and to save the lives of other Haitians?
Well, it's funny, when we met the doctors, they had wanted to become rock stars. And their father was a fairly wealthy businessman and told them, if you will go to school, I'll send you to school in Europe, and then I just want 2 years to give to your country in Haiti. So they finished school, they became surgeons, and they've started working at the hospital, and they've never left. They do anywhere from 10 to 20 surgeries a day. And when Andy and I first went to the hospital, it was like open air. There'd be a building here and a building there. And
people were basically sitting in an alley, and there were just these, old drapes just waving in the breeze, people just waiting to be seen. And it was something that you can't even imagine, something out of centuries ago, just to get any kind of health care. And we quite amazed ourselves at the size of the hospital now and the accommodations for recovery rooms, surgical rooms, and all the equipment that we've been able to supply through our donors.
But speaking of our donors, that's really what this is really all about. This call belongs to everyone who's been coming to our dinners for the last, 13 years. We look at the list of people, and it's this area, Barrington area, Inverness, Palatine, Schaumburg, Northbrook. They came maybe the first time, and they continue to come. And their generosity, we could never do this without these wonderful people. They're compassionate, and they have a heart for giving for the poor.
And the thing about working with Food for the Poor, as Amy has stated, we feel very confident because of the amount of the donation that actually goes to the projects as opposed to administration and such. And this is a very key part of what we try to do there, because we feel that we need to be good instruments for our donors, for their generosity. And so that we always go and look at all these projects prior to approving their construction to make sure that this is something that we can be good stewards of their donations.
I like you, trust Food for the Poor.
Yes.
100%.
We do. They're great, aren't they?
Oh, they're wonderful
It's
people.
nice to have a Chicago imprint in Haiti.
Again,
I mean, really
you say
is.
you're from Illinois, and everybody knows the Sulkowskis. But what is it about the Haitians in particular that keeps you coming back and keeps you, keeps you connected to Julie?
Well, it's basically, where we're called to help the poor. Whether it be, just like this year's projects for Guatemala and all the countries that Food for the Poor supports. It's, to answer part of Dan's earlier question, why Haiti? And people ask us that all the time, and I don't have a particular answer as to why Haiti. It's basically where God led us, and we followed the lead.
And Julie was sick for so long that she was always like apologizing to everyone, in the hospital. Gee, I wish I could help. Gee, I wish I could do this. She had a job at Children's Memorial with children. And she always felt like, I should be doing something. So I guess we really just wanted to just start with one water well. We never expected it to go into this. And we thought, well, let's go for the poorest of the poor, and it just so happened where Father Med had been successfully, kind of showing us that this would be a good way to, try to do some fundraising. It could have been really anywhere, but that's where our heart led us, like Andy said.
Well, and also, I mean, it's interesting because it's probably one of the toughest, most challenging mission fields on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
So it requires special people to navigate that mission field, to accomplish the things that you've accomplished for those people in conjunction with Food for the Poor.
Well, Julie was a pretty tough little girl, so, it was like it almost made sense to go there.
Well, it's basically a conduit for people to give, that, we feel that often there's a lot of people out there for all these different charities that are always asking for different things, and we basically feel our real goal was to just give a connection for people to give, because we know people are very generous in our country, but they want to make sure that when they give that, the dollar's being well spent.
Mm-hmm.
We feel confident that we can accomplish that for them. And so far it's been so successful. We never expected to have a shelf life of 13 years at this point, and still going on.
Well, just flying off what Amy said about how well known you guys are in Haiti, and for as long as you've been doing this, have you developed? I assume you've developed friendships with Haitian families you've helped over that 13-year period that you see and stay in touch with.
Well, we don't have a direct in touch because the communication is difficult because we don't speak Creole or French or whatever. But through Food for the Poor, we go back and visit prior projects, and the people do remember us.
And the people at Food for the Poor are wonderful. I mean, they're just they're fun, they're lighthearted, but they're serious as far as the work that we're doing. And we basically we don't stay there a long time because you have to they have to really prepare for these mission trips. So we're only there for a few days. We get our work done, we have some fun, we pray, and then we talk with Father Med, Andy and I, and discuss which the best road is to go. Like I said, the school kind of scared us and taking these people out of the swamp, and it turned out to be that God just kind of led us in that direction. It worked out to be.
And should tell.
We're all surprised that it worked out as well as it
And
did.
to get to these villages is not an easy task.
No.
What would take normally a half hour in Chicago takes 3 hours. If you're, I mean, these roads are there's no infrastructure there, and it's pretty serious. So this swamp. Do you know what was the name of the village where you built the school?
It was called the Alpha Village.
Alpha Village. And my only criteria is that anything we build, we name it after my daughter, Julie.
There you go.
And, of course, Holy Family, the people of Holy Family. So, you know, we're all kind of one big family, really, everyone who contributes.
Well, when Amy was down there, I said you were renaming all the boys and girls. I think all the girls you were renaming Julie.
Yeah.
Well, that was a goal. So we're going to someday, we'll go back and find out how many there are.
There you go.
Oh, but everybody and the Haitians do appreciate you, and so do all the employees at Food for the Poor. They really they love the work that you've done.
Thank you very much.
That's
nice.
It's very nice to hear that because when you come and go, but we look forward to going there for a lot of different reasons and to see the progress, of course. In the hospital, it is an amazing thing. And we're looking forward to doing the ribbon cutting for the new school coming up.
We have ladies in our church that knit, and they've made little baby blankets for the intensive care unit, which they've never had before. And these babies would be wrapped up in basically Pampers. They never had a blanket. Just a lot of things that this trickles down, not only what Andy and I are doing, but another gentleman in our church, I think, bought 30 solar ovens. Someone decided to build another school and name it after Father Med for next year. So it isn't just, us. It's, I think once you go there, and I'm sure, Amy, you want to go back, right?
I do.
Yeah, leadership by example. Florette and Andy Sokolsky, Food for the Poor, they were discussing all the projects in Haiti, all the good work that they're doing in conjunction with others and with Food for the Poor. Florette and Andy, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. God bless you. And they joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Turnkey IT, it's the best way to protect your business, your network, computer network, from getting viruses, from getting hacked, from intrusions, things that could cripple your company's computer network, stopping business in an instant. We don't want that. So is your network safe and protected? Can your data be restored easily? If not, you need to make an appointment with Turnkey IT today. Turnkey IT provides frontline security for your network and its data. So if there is an email attachment opened in error or a network intruder, Turnkey IT immediately knows and fixes the problem. They'll arm your network with cutting-edge antivirus, disaster recovery, and proactive monitoring software systems to stop those virus outbreaks before they have a chance to spread. Over the phone or in person, Turnkey IT is your network safeguard against this season's worst bugs. See what a dose of Turnkey's proactive support can do for you. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I do feel better, and my MS, I used to be right-handed, and now all my fine motor skills are gone. I can't write, and I cannot use knives. I can't, cut and cook. So then I got my husband's Balance of Nature books out, and I'm like, oh, my God, all the food that I'm supposed to be eating is stuff that's in these pills. So it's easier for me to take a pill because I can't chop up some things and I can't, I just can't do that for myself. That's why I started doing this too, and I do have more energy that's working and helping me.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
We all have the ability to touch the lives of those around us. To someone going through a difficult time, a text, a call, or a visit can mean so much. Reach out to the veterans in your life today. Let them know they're not alone. One simple act can make all the difference. That's the power of one. If you're a veteran in crisis or know one who is, visit veteranscrisisline.net for free 24/7 confidential support.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth, now heard regularly in 18 countries. What percentage of you listening to this commercial often say to yourself, what could I do to make more money, or how can we increase our business? I'm guessing that's most of you. Have you ever heard knock on the door and it'll open? Well, my friends at Income Store have doors you can open that can help you or your family make more money, or doors that lead to an increase in revenue for any business of any size. Income Store has 2 main doors on their website. These doors lead to over 2,000 revenue-generating ideas and products. Although a few of their products are pricey, 90+% of their growth formulas are delivered free or nearly free. Income Store's growth products and ideas have been publicized and featured on Forbes, Inc., USA Today, and recently the Biography Channel. Could your household or business use a revenue shot in the backside? Are you sick of your checkbook talking back and saying no? If so, you need to knock on the doors of IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com. There's a place where you can get custom metal products. If you manage a commercial kitchen, hotel, condo building, or food-grade manufacturing plant, then no matter the type of metal or size of the project, the skillfully trained fabrication team at Vans Industrial has you covered.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Custom metal fabrication is the backbone of my company. We fabricate stainless steel countertops, wall coverings, hoods, landscape planter boxes, industrial fan housings, and more. Vans Industrial uses all types of alloys like carbon steel, aluminum, brass, and polished stainless steel. And we have a laser cutting machine. Our laser can customize almost any project. Our team can design, fabricate, and install your project today.
Call 219-931-4881 today for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS industrial.com. Vans Industrial, customizing for you, the customer.
Tasty Catering invites you to come together this holiday season and celebrate with great food and great company.
Since 1989, Tasty Catering has been planning memorable holiday office parties all over Chicagoland and bringing your team together this year in the spirit of the season.
Their delicious holiday menu at tastycatering.com features all the amazing appetizers and entrees, savory side dishes, and decadent desserts that you'll need for the ideal holiday office party.
From elegant plated dinners to casual company buffets and festive cocktail hours.
Stop by their Elk Grove Village Kitchen and meet their award-winning catering family and sample some of their new and classic holiday menu dishes.
The experienced holiday events team is ready to take you step by step through the planning process, simply and stress-free.
Don't delay. Call Tasty Catering at 847-593-2000 or view the holiday menu online at tastycatering.com.
That's 847-593-2000. tastycatering.com. Holidays. Gather, eat, and enjoy together.
AM 560, The Answer.
Many of you wondering how you could help, how you can be part of the movement to help Food for the Poor, help the Haitians, help those in Guatemala and in the Caribbean who've been just destroyed by the hurricane.
Be like Flo and Andy Sokolsky.
Yes, please. And we're just asking for a one-time donation of $50. If you can only give 40 or 30 or 20, that's fine. Please call this number 844-862-HOPE, 844-862-4673, or go to 560theanswer.com. Search for the keyword food. Make a donation on behalf of your well-fed children or grandchildren. You know, the person who you can't find a Christmas gift for. Make a donation in their honor. And really, it takes, operators are standing by, and they will, it does. It takes a matter of minutes. to help so many people.
And then there's our popular business benefactor program, which is a way to do some good for your business as well as doing some good for children in need in Central America, in Haiti and Guatemala. $2,500 tax-deductible gift to Food for the Poor. And we will express our gratitude for your generosity by providing your business 40 60-second commercials that will air Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. on our airwaves. How you enroll that program, you ask? Good question. You call our sales manager, Michael Mann, directly at 847-871-1527. Again, Michael Mann, and his number is 847-871-1527. You can also go online, 560theanswer.com, search the keyword food, or just text the word biz, B-I-Z, to our normal show text line 64636.
And again, this is the best advertising deal in all of Chicagoland radio. I mean, nowhere in Chicago can you spend $2,500. The money, it's tax deductible. It goes to Food for the Poor. And as a way of saying thank you, we'll give you 40 one-minute commercials. I mean, it is really the best deal. It's a way to take your business to the next level. So many people want to advertise, but this is a way to get your feet wet and to see if you can properly advertise your company or market your business. So again, the person to call, Michael Mann, 847-871-1527. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Ted Cruz debates Comrade Bernie about the tax cuts, suggesting that there's just not enough money in the world to pay for all of Comrade Bernie's socialism. We'll discuss with David French from National Review at 8:08.
And later, how the Cleveland Browns fans signed a permit for a parade because they're 0-16. Best story ever. Yeah. Season's not over yet, but they will be 0-16. Here is Mike Scott, though.
Smash and grab robbery at a Schaumburg jewelry store. 4 hurt in the Northwest Side blaze. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Senate Republicans move closer to passing tax reform. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. A bill is now cleared for debate on the Senate floor. There's still some convincing to do, though. At the Capitol, Fox's Jared Halpern.
The Senate has set up a final vote. It could happen by the end of this week on a $1.5 trillion tax bill, but details are still being worked out to meet demands of several Republican senators.
There are a substantial number of people on my side of the aisle who agree with me. They do not like a trigger for automatic tax increases.
Louisiana Republican John Kennedy responding to a proposal from some fiscal hawks who want a revenue trigger if economic realities don't match expectations. Conservative groups are opposed to that idea, Chris.
Jared, thanks. We've heard now from Matt Lauer himself about the sexual harassment accusations that got him fired from NBC. Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Sorry, Tanya's live in New York.
Lauer's first public response to his firing included an apology, and it was read by Today co-host Savannah Guthrie on the air this morning.
Repairing the damage will take a lot of time and soul searching, and I'm committed to beginning that effort. It is now my full-time job.
He also said there are some of what's been said about him is not true, but that there's enough truth in the stories to make him feel embarrassed and ashamed. Lauer's firing came yesterday after an NBC employee came forward to accuse him of inappropriate sexual behavior at the Sochi Olympics in 2014, Chris.
And at least 4 women now accuse Michigan Democrat John Conyers of sexual harassment, and one, Marion Brown, tells the Today Show on NBC.
I don't feel good, but I feel determined and I feel purposeful.
She used to work for Congressman Conyers and says he'd touch her inappropriately and ask her to hotels ostensibly for meetings, then proposition her for sex. An attorney for him tells the Associated Press that Conyers is innocent and has no plans to resign. Unemployment benefit applications are down. Consumer spending up 0.3% last month. Income's up 0.4%. Fox News, fair and balanced.
42 degrees, clouds and sunshine. Clouds mostly over northwest Indiana, but even they are beginning to thin out. Sunshine for most of the rest of this day and 42 degrees right now. At 8:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. 3 adults and a child hurt following a large blaze on the northwest side. The fire began early this morning inside of a 3-story building in the 3800 block of West Montrose. Several had to be rescued. The victims hospitalized in fair to serious condition, and a dozen are left without a home. Authorities continue investigating following a smash-and-grab robbery, a major heist at a jewelry store in Schaumburg. It was Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry, that was hit as robbers grabbed diamonds after smashing display cases with hammers. A federal judge has ordered that Cook County Jail detainees who have public indecency accusations against them must be handcuffed to prevent misbehavior. Chicago Tribune reports that 3 lawsuits have been filed in recent weeks alleging detainees' aggressive sexual behavior in jail and courtroom lockups, and that creates a hostile work environment for female assistant public defenders and correctional officers. Mayor Emanuel moving forward with plans to build a high-speed rail line between downtown Chicago and O'Hare.
This investment will write the next chapter, in my view, in Chicago's story as an economic powerhouse that moves at lightning speed.
The city launched plans for an express train under former Mayor Richard Daley as part of the Block 37 project, but that project was eventually scrapped. College hoops last night. Northern Illinois lost to Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Tonight, Notre Dame squares off with Michigan State in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Bulls try to end a 6-game losing skid in Denver tonight while the Blackhawks take on the Stars. The news service of Office Depot Office Max. You've been taking care of business all year, so let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. Treat yourself to great deals and tech and furniture, like maybe a new laptop or replace that squeaky chair. You deserve it. Office Depot Office Max, taking care of business. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network and a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Carol Zimmer.
From the Fox Business Network. When it comes to razors, Gillette used to be the name people turned to for shaving. Procter & Gamble is now overhauling its razors and will include fusion blades with new technology without raising prices as it tries to battle online companies like Dollar Shave Club. Elon Musk wants to take on Chicago. He wants his Boring Company to be in the competition to design, build, and operate a high-speed loop connecting O'Hare Airport with downtown Chicago. Your Apple Watch could wind up being a lifesaver. There's a device embedded in a new wristband for the watch that has a heart rate monitor and activity sensors that can analyze your heart rate based on your own history. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Carol Zimmer.
It's 8:05, a check of traffic and weather coming up next on AM 560.
Larry Elder adds common sense to the Roy Moore debate.
The allegations against Judge Roy Moore are indeed very, very serious. If these allegations are true, and Judge Roy Moore should know whether the allegations are true, of course he should get out. If they are not true, he should stand his ground. But I find it difficult to believe that every single one of these allegations is a lie.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
When it comes to the holidays, the hustle and bustle doesn't stop. Well, unless your car breaks down. Whatever this season brings, it helps to have Hum by Verizon. Hum is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers. Now you can check your car's health from your phone. Get help if you're stuck on the side of the road. And if Hum detects a crash, it can automatically notify emergency services. It's a smart way to stay informed about your car and keep your family safer on the road. This holiday season, get Hum and get where you're going. Visit hum.com or your local Verizon store for special holiday savings.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing more than just a rate. Does calling the company with 11 J.D. Power Awards for client service matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative technology, matter? If working with America's #1 online lender matters to you, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
It is 8:06. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Metro has delays on the BNSF line due to switch problems this morning. Most of those delays have been under 20 minutes up to this point, but now getting an unknown departure time now for the latest train set to leave going inbound. Hayden's is just 22 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 35. Kennedy, inbound delays start at Boston. It's an hour and 12 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 46 minutes from Montrose, 35 on the Express. Outbound 49 to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes from 390 to the Loop. 50 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 48 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 37 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, slow Bryn Mawr to North Avenue, 27 minutes Hollywood to Monroe. Northbound slow from the Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State slow 120 to Everett. Northbound 95th to 47th, and from the Reagan Tollway most to Lawrence. Reagan Tollway heavy from the Aurora Toll to Viola, Veterans Memorial. Fountain most to the way to Roosevelt, and Army Trail to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Increasing amounts of sunshine today, high 51, then a moonlit night tonight with a low of 30. Mostly sunny day for tomorrow, high 49 and a low 36. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
42 at O'Hare, 45 along the lakefront, 36 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So President Trump was in Missouri yesterday talking about his tax plan and the importance of tax cuts, not reform cuts, saying this.
If we do this, then America will win again like never, ever before. A vote to cut taxes is a vote to put America first again. We want to do that. We want to put America first again.
Yeah, a little rally atmosphere.
In St. Charles, Missouri, right outside of St. Louis. But he also went, to remind people that this is going to boost the middle class and it's going to hurt rich people, rich people like him.
We're also going to eliminate tax breaks and complex loopholes taken advantage of by the wealthy. Who are they? I don't know. I think my accountants are going crazy right now. It's all right. Hey, look, I'm president. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Well, there's an interesting piece in National Review by a Reagan speechwriter. What would Reagan think of the GOP's tax bills? And Ben Elliott suggests that Reagan, probably wouldn't be supportive because the tax proposals, both in the House and the Senate, violate Reagan's three principles. Tax reductions should be dedicated to the American people. Individuals first, corporations second. Equity and fairness. Tax rates were cut for everyone. We all rise together. And thirdly, tax cuts should, or tax policy, stop inflation from pushing people into higher tax brackets over time. Index all the brackets to the CPI, and this is, I think, more of a esoteric point. The GOP proposals index it to change CPI rises more slowly than does traditional CPI. As a result, taxpayers will move into higher brackets faster. That's the least compelling of his three arguments. But what about the other two in terms of the Republican proposals violating Reagan's first principles? For answers to that question and many others, we're pleased to be joined by our friend David French, writer at National Review, constitutional lawyer, best-selling author, and also a veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom. And on that last point, he had a very good piece that may have gotten lost over the Thanksgiving holiday that I want to have him address. But why don't we start with tax policy? David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks so much for having me.
So what about former Reagan speechwriter Ben Elliott's suggestion that the Republican tax cut proposals violate the individual's first, corp second, and the equity and fairness principles that Reagan used to inform his tax policies?
It's a pretty compelling argument. I mean, the one problem I have with it is I do think that we have to address the corporate tax rate. It is too high. But I do think that a tax cut that cuts the corporate rate so much, while not cutting taxes for everybody, is problematic. So I think if you're going to cut the corporate tax rate, cut it, absolutely, but don't do it so much that you end up leaving some families behind or not giving sufficient tax breaks to families that really need it. And Rubio and Lee have an interesting proposal that says, hey, why don't we cut the tax rate for corporations slightly less, instead of from 20% to 22%, but seriously beef up the child tax credit, make it fully refundable, make it increase it, something that would really help an awful lot of families. And Trump actually said he was against that, which was surprising to me. But hopefully the Senate will pass that Rubio-Lee amendment anyway, which I think would be a big improvement on the bill.
Now, where do they stand on the death tax?
Well, that's going to be probably worked out in conference because the House and the Senate have different views of the death tax. So the Senate bill, in most of its permutations, has said, well, it's going to be changed, not eliminated entirely. Whereas the House wanted to get rid of it entirely. So that's going to have to be something that'll be worked out. But again, that's very controversial because it's a pretty hefty tax cut as part of the overall tax cut package, but it's one that benefits really very few people.
This is a part of where some values run into conflict with one another, right? Or some goals. The goal is growth, and so the child tax credit isn't really growth-oriented tax policy, but it is beneficial for middle-income families to put more money in their pocket to get greater relief. And so it seems to me that in order to try and cobble together the 50 Republican senators that you need, since the Democrats are iconoclasts on the topic, is there's going to have to be some give both among senators and then the two chambers. Right. And the Senate's working within rules that are really handcuffing it as to its options because they can't grow the budget deficit beyond a certain number without triggering a requirement to get to 60 votes to overcome a potential filibuster. So every tax cut that's in the Senate bill has to be weighed against, is there a way to offer some deficit reduction as a part of the package? So the Senate can't go wild on tax cuts, not only because it's not prudent to drive the deficit up so much, but also because if they do drive it beyond a certain point, then they can't pass it with the 51 votes anymore. Then they would need to trigger, the legislative filibuster could come into play. So there's an awful lot going on here that is more complicated and kind of constrains the Republicans as they're trying to craft this policy.
So what's next? I mean, what's the next process?
Well, the Senate late last night began its debate. We're probably going to see amendments offered and a vote coming soon. If the Senate votes for tax reform, then that means we're heading into conference where you're going to try to reach an agreement between the House and the Senate and go back to both chambers again. And this could actually happen pretty quickly. It could happen very quickly if both the House and the Senate leadership get what they want. Now, it's very likely, I think, that if whatever the Senate bill is will be more like what is ultimately agreed to than what the House bill is, just for the simple fact that there's such a narrow margin in the Senate, and it's going to be really hard to go back to the Senate again with a bill that's been agreed to between the House and the Senate that would be substantially different from the one that came out of the Senate. So we'll see. I mean, the next few days are going to be really crucial. Since you write so much on the topic of culture and the intersection with politics, I guess, the latter is embedded in the former, but got to get your comment on what's happening to news celebrities and Hollywood celebrities and politician celebrities. And do you think that we're potentially moving from a reckoning for truly bad actors into a mania where we don't distinguish among the quality of the allegations or the credibility of the accusers? Yeah, I think that's a danger. But right now what's happening, I think, is a lot of the low-hanging fruit, so to speak, is being plucked. In other words, the people that, the people for which their misconduct was this quote-unquote open secret. So you look at it, you've seen Al Franken with pictures, you've had Matt Lauer with multiple accusers and some really lurid details, like he had a button where he could lock his door without getting up from his desk. You had the Harvey Weinstein allegations, the Conyers allegations seem quite credible. You haven't had anything yet that reminds one of the Rolling Stone controversy or the Duke lacrosse controversy, where there were these sensational allegations that turned out to be hoaxes and really turned out to be problematic within the first day or two that they were made.
What about Garrison? What about Garrison Keillor? That's not a sensational allegation, but it seems to be a rather innocent one about
touching somebody's back,
touching a woman's bare back, and seemingly, from his perspective, accidentally, and obviously not an ideological fellow traveler of Garrison Keillor, but seems to me that's an example of where we may be starting to inch toward the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, there's a lot of that doesn't make any sense to me. If the whole allegation is for 1 second, for a couple of seconds, his hand was on a back, and that's it, that would be very, very strange. But the whole thing was very strange. His explanation, followed by sort of him saying, "Well, I'm okay. I've had a long run." If it was me and I'd lost a career that I'd worked my whole life to build, over that, I would be hopping up and down with rage. Hopping up and down. Yeah. So we just don't know. I mean, that one. If that's all there is, that would be an example of hysteria, claiming somebody wrongly. I'm skeptical that that's all there is.
Well, what about the curious case of Congressman John Conyers? We had a woman come forward today on the Today Show saying that he would invite me back to his room and make unwanted advances toward me. The Black Congressional Caucus has asked him to resign. What do you think? How do you think this is going to end?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because so far the big glaring exception to the rule that people are being held accountable finally for this misconduct is politics. So you've seen the media, you've seen Hollywood, you've seen major corporations hold people accountable for conduct, but not in politics. And part of it is the tribalization and polarization that we have, where people don't want to give 1 inch to the other side. But part of it is the simple fact that who fires them. And so, you can ask a congressman to resign, but if he doesn't want to resign, he can't be pushed out without, a significant move by a 2/3 vote of his peers. And that's very, very difficult to do. So with Conyers, the ball's in his court now. If it is true that he's been asked to resign, that's the first positive sign of political accountability that we've seen. But you know what? He may say no. And his district is so safe that he could serve as long as he lives, I think. So we'll see what he did. We'll see what he does.
In the wake of that incredible video of the North Korean soldier defecting to South Korea, running the gauntlet, literally being shot 5 times, surviving the parasites that were in his stomach.
Yeah, a mile long or something.
Unbelievable. But it recalled the importance of freedom, and a number of op-ed writers have chimed in on, kind of watching that, and you remember how lucky you are to live in America and have the freedoms that we have. And you sort of picked up on that with a personal story over the Thanksgiving holiday of where you were 10 years ago on Thanksgiving, and that was deployed to Iraq, and just recounting your story a little bit and why you decided to share it.
Yeah. This Thanksgiving was very significant for our family because it was exactly 10 years ago last Thanksgiving that I was flying into Iraq to begin my deployment with the 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment in Diyala Province as part of the surge. And I was kind of an older guy doing it. I had decided to join later in life because I just had the conviction that I couldn't keep supporting a war that I wasn't willing to fight myself. So I joined, volunteered to go to Iraq. And 10 years ago, on Thanksgiving, I was flying in to begin my deployment. And at that time, I didn't know it, but at that very moment that I was flying into Iraq, my youngest daughter was being that day was November 22nd, which was Thanksgiving Eve this year, Thanksgiving that year. That was a moment when my life changed forever, when our family's life changed forever in ways we didn't really know at that time, because it wasn't until after I got back from Iraq that we even began the adoption process. And then, of course, my daughter's life began. And so I just took some time in National Review to reflect on that and what that meant, and how profoundly that all of those events had changed our family.
It's an excellent piece worth checking out. I tweeted it at Dan Proft, but you can go to nationalreview.com and check it out too. Thanksgiving 10 years ago by David French, writer at National Review, constitutional lawyer, author, and veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom, as he was just describing. David, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm doing great. I'm loving the balance of nature. I don't know, my hair feels fuller. I think my skin looks nicer. I do see like improvement, and I'm a very energetic person even with type 2 diabetes and everything. I always feel pretty good. So this is really, I think I even have more energy on this, which is great. You know, some products are, just phony products, and they just tell you. But the people from Balance of Nature, when you hear, like I listen to the radio show so many times, and I'm like, what am I waiting for? Like, I should just try it.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
Are you stuck in a bad home mortgage? Well, join the club that has about 10 million other American families. But I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest legal analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, I guarantee you'll never be alone in this country.
Roof is needy?
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Roof is leaky? Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Shingles are curly?
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Roof isn't right after it's stormy? Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Here comes winter. Well, soon. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson of Crumweedy.
Since 1953, the roof guys for your home and business.
We fix roof problems.
Get it done before the winter comes.
Hate the high pressure?
Not from us.
We give you multiple options. Then you choose.
A roof that lasts at a fair price.
We fix roof problems.
When your roof is needy,
call Grumweedy. How about the number?
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Call us. We make sure your warranty is in place. Crumweedy, 630...
Wait. Just remember, myroofisneedy.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
So I heard a little Lauer gossip. This is unsubstantiated.
Unsubstantiated, yes.
But it's, it's rumor and innuendo here. I mean, in this age. A friend who's got a friend that's well-placed in New York, friend I trust, is a credible, serious person. One of the interns that allegedly was mistreated by Lauer, the niece of Tom Brokaw.
Oh.
And she never disclosed that she was Tom Brokaw's niece to anyone other than HR because she didn't want special treatment. Could you imagine?
Uh-oh.
What if Brokaw kicks Matt Lauer's ass?
I think he should, if that's true.
Maybe you should replace Brokaw.
Little
you
street
should replace
justice.
Lauer.
You know who we should? Let's bring back Dan Rather can go back to CBS.
Yeah.
Tom Brokaw can go back to NBC.
Sure. What's the difference? At least they wear pants.
And they haven't been known to sexually harass or take their pants off in their offices.
You need somebody with integrity and credibility back onto today's show, like Brian Williams.
Oh, too
boy.
soon.
Yeah. It's a tough media business.
It is. It's a flirty business, I've heard.
That's what Geraldo
That's what Geraldo said.
Yeah.
Maybe because he was the flirt in the business, but it's not all flirty.
That's what Bette Midler says, among other things, about Geraldo.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to Andrew Klavan about sensory therapy at San Diego State to whack the prejudice right out of these kids at 8:38.
And celebrating a losing season, how the Cleveland Browns fans want a parade. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Blue skies, sunshine. 8:29 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. Disgraced Today Show host Matt Lauer breaking his silence after being fired amid sexual misconduct allegations. In a statement out today, Lauer saying that while some of what's being said about him is untrue or mischaracterized, there is enough truth in what's being said to make him feel embarrassed and ashamed. Another woman is accusing Al Franken of sexual misconduct. CNN reporting an Army veteran, Stephanie Kemplin of Ohio, alleges the Democrat U.S. Senator cupped her chest during a USO tour during the Iraq War in 2003. One of Democrat Congressman John Conyers' sexual assault accusers makes her first public appearance on NBC's Today Show this morning.
He asked me to satisfy him sexually. He pointed to areas of genital areas of his body and asked me to, touch it.
Marion Brown saying she's putting herself at risk by breaking her non-disclosure agreement attached to her financial settlement with Conyers. North Korea showing off its latest ICBM in several photos. North Korea claims its missiles like the one launched yesterday can hit any part of the U.S. mainland. Today is the last day of the controversial Cook County soda tax. County commissioners voted last month to repeal that pending-announced tax following a huge public backlash. 3 adults and a child are hurt following a large blaze on Chicago's northwest side. Fire began early this morning inside a 3-story building on West Montrose. Several had to be rescued. The victims are hospitalized in fair to serious condition, and at least a dozen were left without a home. Authorities investigating following a smash-and-grab robbery at a major jewelry store near the Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, where police say 3 ran into the Jared store, smashed display cases with hammers, and grabbed diamonds. No one hurt following a fire that broke out on the Eastern Illinois University campus. Authorities say the blaze began last night in Douglas Hall. The building evacuated, but damage was minimal. Chicago sports tonight. Notre Dame squares off with Michigan State in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Bulls take on the Nuggets in Denver. The Blackhawks begin a home-and-home against the Stars tonight at the United Center. The news, a service of Discover Card. Discover Card alerts you if they find your Social Security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. Just another way they look after you, not just your account. Free for card members. Sign up online at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply. 8:32 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is turning to the positive.
Anywhere else, you see that Trump claims that Putin didn't meddle in our election. There's such deception and such a fierce outrage. I just don't know when we're going to get the cork back in the bottle. I'm choosing right now in my life to look at some positives.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Looking for that magical holiday gift and not sure where to go? Don't worry, I have the perfect place. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher here to tell you that you need to give a gift from Roland's Jewelers. They'll help you create that magical holiday moment. You know that buying jewelry is all about trust. Well, Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville is a place you can trust. Who else would offer AM 560 listeners up to $500 in savings on designer brands like Mickey Moto, John Hardy, and Roberto Coin? You can also save on luxury watches you love like Tag Heuer, Michelle, and Shinola. You know, as an AM 560 listener, you'll save up to $500 at Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville. Visit RolandsJewelers.com, ROLLAND, RolandsJewelers.com. And this holiday season, trust Roland's to make all your gift giving magical. Roland's Jewelers, a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
8:34. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. It's slow going on the inbound Kennedy this morning from Foster to the Hubbard Tunnel. It is an hour and 6 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 45 minutes from Montrose, 36 in the Express. Outbound 21 minutes to Montrose, 46 to the airport. Edens, 21 minutes Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound 35. The Eisenhower, an hour and 13 minutes, 390 to downtown. 53 minutes from Manheim, outbound 43 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39 minutes. Ryan is 40 minutes, 95th at Loop. Bishop Ford, 45 minutes, 8094 to the Merge. Lakeshore Drive is heavy southbound Bryn Mawr to North Avenue, northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State, delays are from 120 to Everett, northbound 95th to 47th. The Reagan Tollway, much of the way to Lawrence. The Adams-Reagan Tollways are okay. Southbound Veterans Memorial, packed Army Trail to Roosevelt. Northbound, Fountain to the Reagan Tollway, Army Trail to 290. Eastbound 8094 is delayed. Indianapolis Boulevard to Klein Avenue. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunshine, 51 today. Moonlit sky overnight, low of 30. Sunny and 49 tomorrow. Currently, we have 42 at O'Hare, 45 along the lakefront, 46 at Midway, and 36 in Aurora. Your next news update is at 9. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by MyPainChicago.com. World-class treatment for chronic pain. Go to MyPainChicago.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
'Tis the season for giving, and we here at AM 560 have partnered up once again with Food for the Poor. This year, our goal is to provide food for a year and water for life for 3,000 children in Haiti and in Guatemala and the Caribbean islands that were affected by the hurricanes. But we can't do it without you. We sincerely need your help. We're asking for a one-time donation of $50. With that, you could feed a child for a year and provide clean water for life. Here's what you do. Call 844-862-HOPE. That's 844-862-4673. Or just go to 560theanswer.com. Search for the keyword food. A great way, too, if you're in the marketing department for your company, why not become a business benefactor? With that, if you make a one-time donation of $2,500, it's tax deductible. All the money will go to Food for the Poor. And as a way of saying thank you, we will give you 40 one-minute commercials that will air right here on AM 560 Monday through Friday. To become a business benefactor, call our sales manager, Michael Mann. He's waiting for you to call. And if you have any questions, just call him 847-871-1527. That's 847-871-1527.
All right, San Diego State University, Amy, they're the Aztecs. I believe they still are. I'll have to confer with Elizabeth Warren into whether that's not a racial slur or not. They offer a day-long workshop titled Journey to a Shared Humanity. You ready for this? What's going on college campuses? Day-long workshop, Journey to a Shared Humanity. These students undergo sensory shock therapy, if you will, to drive out the demons of prejudice. So they're subjected to experiential indoctrination, like through little vignettes like this.
Mom, are you watching the news?
Yeah, they've been knocking on my door ever since the news was released.
What are we gonna do? My teacher put me out of class today and told me to go home. They told me to call all my loved ones. What does that mean?
Just stay home for now, Miha. Someone will come and get you. I don't want you to be scared, but I just need you to understand.
Understand what, Mom?
You may not be able to go back to school for a while.
Eyes, open up! Mom, who was that?
I have to go. Don't let them teach you to be scared of others that don't look or sound like you. Okay, stay quiet and stay
Wait,
brave.
Mom,
Stay on Mamucha.
Don't go. Don't touch her. Mom! How would you feel if one of your family members were getting taken away from you? Well, it's happening today. It's happening to me.
And scene. Cut. So those are racist ICE thugs taking away a family member of a person in this country illegally, or a family or an individual who's here illegally. So that's one. Here's another one.
Oh, no.
A minority interacting with police.
Get inside. Get inside. Get in the wall. Get in there now. Move. Let's go. Walk inside of there now. In that square. Get in. Come on. Let's go. Move. Let's go. Come on. Get in. Let's go. Face the wall. Face the wall. Don't look at me. First, they came from the Native Americans, but I'm not Native American, so I did not speak up. Then, they came for the Jews, but I'm not a Jew, so I did not speak up. Then, they came for the gays, but I'm not gay, so I did not speak up. Next, they came for the crippled, but I'm not crippled, so I did not speak up. Turn around. What do you see? What do you see? One light, one life, my life. And when they came for me, there was no one else to speak up.
Plagiarizing Martin Niemöller with respect to the Nazis. We'll see if maybe Andrew Klavan wants to cast any of these wonderful thespians in the next movie that he writes. Andrew Klavan, who's a Hollywood screenwriter and the author of The Great Good Thing, A Secular Jew Comes to Faith in Christ, joins us again. Andrew, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Good to talk to you.
How about those tear-jerking vignettes at San Diego State?
I think, it's a terrible thing when you have these policemen running wild enforcing the law. I mean, if you allow them to, just go out of control, pretty soon there'll be no criminals safe in the streets. It's a terrible thing. It is amazing. It is amazing to me that this is what they're teaching children in this freest of all countries. I mean, really, a country where you can say anything, virtually do anything, sleep with anybody, have any opinion you want. You can set the flag on fire and they can't arrest you. And this is the life they're living in their imaginations, this life of oppression, because of police officers enforcing the law that keeps them safe. It's unbelievable. It is an unbelievable triumph of fantasy over reality.
But in some cases, some people are being deported. I mean, we can't deny that. There are deportations going on, and there were during the Obama administration.
Because people are here illegally.
That's the other thing, of course, that these were going on during the Obama administration, but nobody covered them and nobody was afraid of them. But of course there are deportations going on. People come into the country illegally. I don't understand. I'm happy to have all the immigrants that America needs come into the country, and all the qualified people come in, and all the decent people come in who we want to allow in. But on what planet does a country not have borders? On what planet does the rule of law not matter? I don't understand why when Democrats and liberals talk about abortion, suddenly the law becomes sacred. There's Roe v. Wade. You can't do a thing about abortion. This is sacred. But suddenly, when you're talking about the borders, the rule of law doesn't matter at all. For me, the borders are completely a rule of law issue. If we have law, if you don't like the laws, let's change the laws. If we have laws, let's enforce the law. And, yes, when you enforce the law, sad things happen. Sad things happen when people break the law and then have to face the consequences. You know, if you want to change or liberalize the laws, go ahead. But do not say to us, to the rest of the country, oh, yeah, we have these laws, but it's wrong to enforce them. Because then you don't have a country anymore at all. Not just because you have no borders, but because you have no laws. And you don't have laws that people respect. If you're not going to respect the laws that you don't like, then why should I respect the laws that I don't like? I mean, is this a country of laws or is it a country of people? I think it has to be a country of laws. And I just think teaching kids that they are living in this fantasy world of fear and oppression when, in fact, they're living in this world of laxity and freedom, it's absurd.
And identity politics is really complicated, it turns out, even for the most exuberant practitioners of it, like House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, who has a problem. She's got, quote-unquote, iconic John Conyers, an African-American, in a bit of a twist, but we're supposed to believe the women accusers as a matter of course, and then rally to their defense. So what to do when gender runs into race if you're Nancy Pelosi?
It really is true. When you live life by identity politics, when you live by identity politics, you die by identity politics because it's a kind of politics that makes no sense. I do have to say, with this sexual harassment, I don't know. Somebody called it the scandalopolis apocalypse yesterday, and it is kind of this amazing thing going on. This is the first time. Every man knows that he has untoward thoughts and untoward desires and things that he might be a little ashamed of, keep to himself. These guys make me feel like a good person. I mean, I have to say, like when I hear Cokie Roberts, the reporter, say that every woman in the press pool knew that she couldn't get into an elevator with John Conyers, who behaves like that? Who attacks women in the elevator? I mean, criminals do that. And who didn't tell? What kind of a reporter doesn't report that? Why did you know? Why did a reporter, a journalist, know that and we didn't know? How is that possible? How is it possible that nobody knew that Matt Lauer was pressing a button under his desk like some kind of Bond villain and locking women in his room, in his office, and apparently actually assaulting them? How can we believe NBC when they tell us, oh, nobody in our management knew that? Who installed the button?
Yeah, right.
I know,
yeah,
but then
good
but then you have Garrison Keillor, who in his 50-year career, one woman, and it was just one woman who he said that he was friends with, who he's trying to console after something, she had some trauma happen in her life, and she accuses him of inappropriate touching, and he was just touching her back.
I think that's a terrible thing when, because of the, as I keep telling people, in a witch hunt, there are real witches. Now, we don't believe in witches anymore, but in the old days they did. And so when there was a witch hunt, some of the people who got arrested were actual witches according to their world. Mm-hmm. Just like now, some of the people many of the people who are being busted seem to be just awful, awful people doing terrible things. But in that hunt and in that roundup are people who've done, very typical, very, I don't know, maybe untoward things a little bit, but not criminal things. And I think it's wrong to include those. I think when you include everybody, you basically degrade charges like rape and assault. When you say, oh, this person raped somebody and this person asked somebody for a date, and I'm putting those guys on the same list, it makes the rape unimportant. And I think, with everything, the press is just like a wild animal. Once you let it go, it just goes after everything. But just like almost every moral questions, there are shades of gray and things that we as the public have to kind of parse and go through. It's a terrible thing to ruin a person's career or his reputation over a charge that hasn't been proved, and especially a charge like that. Who knows? Garrison Keillor does not strike me as like a mad dog, and I'm no fan of Garrison Keillor. But then you hear these stories about Matt Lauer, and it makes you so crazy that I mean, Geraldo Rivera yesterday said, "Oh, I think we're making it hard to have a courtship in the workplace." And I thought the guy was locking women in his office
and taking off his
not
pants.
Courtship, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
You know, like I've courted women, and locking them in has never been part of that enterprise.
Well, yeah. Well, with Geraldo, you may have to go to back to that 1991 Bette Midler interview. Maybe he has a different idea of courtship. So, I mean, so Andrew Klavan, we're speaking with. You're a successful Hollywood screenwriter. So, you know, how things in Hollywood these days. I'm looking forward to the Oscars this year, particularly the moment when Casey Affleck presents whoever wins Best Actor this year.
Oh, that's right.
The Oscar. That should be a fun moment, huh?
I think it is. It might actually be a healing thing for some of these people to get their sanctimony, you know, take a look in the mirror and say, maybe I shouldn't be so sanctimonious. Maybe I shouldn't be telling half the country that they're deplorable, which is essentially what they do every time they're giving each other an award.
Yeah.
You know, it's a strange thing. Like nobody looks at Donald Trump and says this is a guy who has behaved well all his life or even behaves well every day. But it is an interesting thing that it's under his presidency that we're having this reckoning. You know, like I said, I don't want men to be demonized. I don't want the typical things that happen during courtship that does sometimes get out of hand. I don't want those things criminalized. But I do think that this is an important moment to get some of these extraordinary behaviors, this extraordinary wickedness and cruelty to your fellow human being, just because she happens to be a female human being. I think it's a good thing to get some of this stuff out of there and get it exposed, and to say that it's not acceptable. And yes, am I worried about witch hunts and things like this? Of course I am. That's a danger. But I really do think it is a good thing to have this reckoning, because we've been lectured to by these people, by the Hollywood stars, by the news people, by Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, do you remember that Harvey Weinstein was the guy who said Hollywood has moral authority because we have compassion? That was Harvey, and that was, I believe that was while he was defending Roman Polanski, who raped a child. And I think we've been listening ever since Donald Trump was elected. We've been listening to them wagging their fingers in our faces. And I just think it's a good thing for us to see that these people have feet of clay. They have moral feet of clay. They shouldn't be lecturing anybody. I would rather listen to a housewife in Ohio tell me what I should do tomorrow morally than listen to any movie star or any news person set the dictates of my moral boundaries. I think the normal people of this country, as we've seen in the hurricanes that hit, as we've seen when disaster strikes, when mass shootings take place, the normal, everyday people of this country are so much more elevated morally than the people who are supposed to be our moral betters, that if there is nothing this year has taught us, it is that the average American is more equipped to speak about morality than the elite. And I think that's been, if there is one moral to take out of this year, that would be it.
And I think what's going to happen too, Amy, and I think you'll agree with me, is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are going to bring us all back together. The magic of that relationship. The magic of that relationship, Andrew. You can count on that. Andrew Klavan, Hollywood screenwriter, essayist, author of the book. It's an excellent read, The Great Good Thing, A Secular Jew Comes to Faith in Christ. Andrew, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
With the holidays approaching, now's the perfect time to purchase 2 gifts and only pay for 1. Or give a gift and keep 1 for yourself. Yes, folks, the MyPillow buy 1, get 1 free offer is back. I urge you to go online or call now and take advantage. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available. I personally love my MyPillows. I get a great night's sleep by moving the fill to give me the support I need, regardless of my sleep position. And I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. They're made in America. You can wash and dry them. They're hypoallergenic, plus have a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. And it's great to know you're supporting a company that helped thousands of hurricane victims. So get your buy 1, get 1 free MyPillows as gifts or for yourself by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201 promo code Amy.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Before I started taking this Balance of Nature, I had no energy. Since I've been taking this Balance of Nature, I have had the energy, and I just thank God. It's really been a blessing to me. Even my eyesight seems to be better because my other glasses I couldn't wear. It wasn't strong enough. But when I put the other glasses on, the one that was kind of weak, I could see so clear out of them. I said, what is this?
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. America's strength is that she's a free nation. Our weakness is we've stopped defending the foundations of our freedom. Non-behavioral characteristics like race and religion take precedence over shared beliefs as it relates to who is granted entrance to America, to the extent permission is required at all. This in spite of the fact that there is plenty of identity diversity that occurs naturally within a global population that shares a common commitment to peaceful pluralism. The temperature in K-12 is approaching Fahrenheit 451 as school districts move to ban literary masterworks like To Kill a Mockingbird because the language may offend. A recent survey of college undergrads finds 1 in 5 believes violence is acceptable to silence someone who makes a hurtful statement. Private property is seized by the state if you refuse to participate in events that violate your religious beliefs. You make too little, you make too much. You don't pay enough, you didn't build that. You need not apply. You must check your privilege. You must use these pronouns. You can't use those words. As Thomas Paine wrote, what we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. If we continue to acquiesce to those who would cheapen our freedoms, we will all pay dearly.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're busy running around shopping for holiday presents. Just make sure you save the best present for yourself. A brand new Ford car, truck, or SUV from Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream. 'Tis the season to celebrate the Ford year-end clearance and stuff your stocking with the best savings of the year. No more waiting. Now is the time to get to Joe Cotton Ford with 250 brand new vehicles that have to be off the lot before the end of the year to make room for the 2018 models. You won't find a better deal or selection. And remember, Joe Cotton is a different kind of car dealer, where family-owned and operated really means something. They're not a big dealer group just cranking out customers to hit a sales quota. You'll get the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure. Maybe that's why generations of Ford buyers and their families keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV for the holidays. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream, or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Food for the Poor 2017 campaign. We're raising funds to provide food for a year, water for life for 3,000 children exposed to life-threatening poverty in Haiti and Guatemala. And there's two ways you can help. First, we're asking for a $50 donation, which would provide food for a year and water for life for one child in Haiti or Guatemala. And you can make that $50 donation, or if you can't afford 50, something to that, put some people together. 844-862-4673. That's 844-862-HOPE for a $50 donation or whatever you can afford. You can also do it online at 560theanswer.com. Search for the keyword food, or even on your cell phone, your smartphone, pound 250, and say the word food when prompted. That's one way to help, Amy.
Another way is to become a business benefactor. It is the best deal in all of Chicago radio. So if you own a business or if you make the marketing decisions for your company, listen up. We have our business benefactor program, a one-time donation of $2,500, tax deductible. The money goes to Food for the Poor. And as a way of saying thank you, we will give you 40 60-second commercials to air right here Monday through Friday. It's the best deal in all of Chicago radio. To become a part of this program, to become a business benefactor, call Michael Mann. He's our sales manager. If you have any questions, just call Michael Mann. He's ready for you. His number is 847-871-1527. That's 847-871-1527. You could also visit 560theanswer.com and search for the keyword food.
Do it.
Please, we need your help to reach our goal of helping 3,000 children this holiday season. Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical director, and associate producer, Quinn McCarthy. We're back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Now into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Well, it is the last day of the Cook County soda tax. Smash and grab robbery at a Schaumburg jewelry store being investigated. 4 hurt after a Northwest Side blaze. Mayor Emanuel continues his push for a high-speed rail line to O'Hare. Handcuffs ordered for Cook County detainees accused of public indecency. Bulls are at the Nuggets tonight while the Blackhawks host the Stars. Sunshine and 51 WIND Chicago News Time. It is 9 o'clock.
Matt Lauer says he's truly sorry. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. The now fired NBC Today Show host responding in a statement to sexual harassment claims. His former colleague Savannah Guthrie read it on the air.
I realize the depth of the damage and disappointment I have left behind at home and at NBC. Some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed.
The New York Times and Variety magazine have articles out with several women accusing Lauer of bad behavior. A congressman accused of sexual harassment's in the hospital. Here's Fox's Jeff Manasso.
Chris, a family friend of Congressman John Conyers tells Fox Detroit the Michigan Democrat was admitted to a hospital for a stress-related illness. We're told he's resting comfortably. No other details. This all amid sexual harassment allegations against the 88-year-old lawmaker that he's denied, but also word that he used taxpayer money to